All right, guys, looks like we're live. This is awesome. All right, so I'm just working on some stuff. I figured, why not? I can hang out a little bit. I'm actually on vacation. I worked earlier today, and I got home and I said, let me clean up the arcade a little bit and work on some projects that I need to do. You know, small stuff, and then I can just do some Q&A as we go along. So, welcome to the chat. There we go, just put my animated bug in there. And then all I have to do now is talk to y'all here. Hey, what's going on, Brian? I figured I'd do one, right? You know, we usually do a weekly thing, but I haven't done a stream in a while. I did a gameplay. I might do some gameplay later today in the stream. Not really sure. It depends on the time. It's like 1 o'clock Eastern time. But we'll see how it goes. You know, I don't work tomorrow. And I do have to, you know, do a couple arcade-related things. I was originally going to travel to Virginia to my buddy Jason's house. That's kind of TBD right now, because they just put a travel ban at my job, you know, in the tri-state area for Virginia. They're on the hotspot list. So I am not going to travel there unless things change, unless they get off the hotspot list. I'm not going to go. So I have a lot of time on my hands. So I was going to work on arcade-related stuff all week. So I might be doing more streaming than I originally anticipated to make up for it. All right, so I'm going to start, I guess. You guys can just, I'll have a monitor here where I can see your questions. But basically what I want to do is, one of the things, you know, that's why I called it tinkering, because I'm going to mess around with stuff. This is my test pattern generator by Crafty Mech TPG. You can see right here that the wire came out. So I'm going to probably redo it. I've rebuilt this thing so many times that I figured, you know what, let me just make a copy of this. And I could kind of take these out and reuse these, I guess. But I don't know. I had new connectors over here that I was going to use and just make new ones, or I can just reuse these. I could probably reuse these. So basically, it's RGB, red, green, and blue, and then ground. And then on the separate one here, he has yellow and white. So I could probably redo these, actually. I don't know. But these crimps, you know, I mean, I got these from Mike's Arcade. Usually they're pretty good. But I guess these quality of wires just weren't good for me. So I'm going to make new ones. So I don't know if I want to do this or if I want to braid it. I could use this and kind of cheat a little bit. This is actually pre-made, and these are pretty sturdy. Because what ends up happening is when you're digging inside the monitor, when you're on the field or whatever, you know, I tend to like try not to, but sometimes you end up pulling it by the wire, and that's how these come out. So I wanted to make really strong versions of these. Maybe I was going to use different wire. I'm not really sure. Let me see how thick this wire is here. I guess it's okay. But anyway, I wanted to build new ones. So the only problem with building the new ones is that these are actually designed, you can see they have like a little ridge on them, and the ones that come with his do not have that ridge. They're like straight, so it's easy to pull in and out without it kind of clamping and getting stuck on these things like on a monitor. So don't know what I want to do yet. Let me just pull this monitor closer to me. There we go. So you can hear different sounds in the background. You guys may or may not have noticed that, but I am working on the videos. I just had, like I said, I had like, man, I must have worked like 10 days straight. And that includes home life too, because it's flu season. So I've been vaccinating the kids, and that was work in itself. I had to go to 3 different doctors for my poor son. So he's all set now with that, you know, with getting his flu shot. We just couldn't find the right doctor to do it. A lot of them were just really mean and stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm out of here. So I did go originally, ironically, to his pediatrician, and now he's set. He has his flu shot, the whole family does. But you know, it's a lot of work. Family life is a lot of work too. But see if you guys can recognize some of the sounds in the background. Yep, there's that one, and I'll just press start on this one to give you guys a little hint. Let's see. There you go. All right, so I just got to get this done. So I have my crimper too, so I'm probably just gonna, I guess I can do the length of this one. See, the problem is that these come off. You can actually put different connectors on here, and I don't want to have to rebuild all that. So I think I might just take these wires and repair them at this point. I just need my dental pick tool. All right, I'm grabbing them here just in case. All right, I'm gonna use these to see if I can take these out, but I'll probably try to salvage these right now. So, should I do both ends? Should I just do one? I'm just tired, like I do one end and then the other one ends up coming out. It's kind of a pain. I tried putting these on here for strain relief, and I actually soldered them on too to make them a lot stronger, but I don't know. Let me at least fix this one here. And I was gonna do some monitor stuff today, but I think I'm just really tired. It's starting to catch up to me now. All right, cool. So if you guys have any questions in chat, feel free to do that. Let me just go grab my pliers real quick. I forgot them. All right, so I'm back. It's nice and quiet in the house, it's great. All right, so let me just take these zip ties off here. And then I'm gonna have to take these out. Maybe I should zoom in for you guys, let's see. Oh, yeah, I was going the right way. Usually I have a monitor set to do all that, but I'm using the monitor for YouTube, so gotta find a better setup. For now it works. All right. Cool, that'll work. So I'm just kind of pressing on these here. And it doesn't matter if I bend them, so I'm gonna press pretty hard just to get them out. There's that one and this one. All right, I just have to get this other one here. Almost. There we go. All right, so looks like that one was the yellow one, so I'm just gonna take that and redo. I'm gonna redo this too because it seems like all flimsy there. So I'll put them together, snap them together. So I was originally just gonna work on this stuff, and I said, you know what, let me at least put a stream up. You know, if you don't want to be here, that's fine, you can leave. Some people are like, oh, this is boring, I want to see other stuff. That's fine, but I'm going to be playing some games later, so it'll probably be worth the wait. But, you know, I had to do this anyway, so I figured why not join it and talk with the community a little bit. So Justin just joined. Hey, what's going on? And so did, I can't pronounce his name, it looks like HSCITKO. Anyway, I'll answer Justin's. He said, where do you get the TPG? Yeah, I'm very happy with it. I don't know. I don't think I need a second one, but I would definitely invest in, like I said, I'm redoing the cable. I might build a couple of these cables just in case, but I have videos actually on this. The newer versions actually have an LED inside. The older ones, which I have, don't have an LED. So what would happen is I would leave it on and then, use it and then unplug or turn off the monitor, and then this would stay on all night. I would kill the 9-volt battery inside. So what I did was I added a LED, and I have a video on how I did that. All I did was just Dremel the side. I put an LED right in there, and then I just wired it up inside and soldered it to the 2 points for the battery. And when you turn it off, it shuts off. It's pretty cool. So I love this thing. Aaron, is a good friend of mine. I actually knew him through BYOAC first, which is Build Your Own Arcade Controls forums, or arcadecontrols.com. It's funny because he was first making them back then, and I was kind of gonna get one of the earlier releases at a discount and then review it. But since I really wasn't a monitor guy at the time, I was more a MAME guy. I declined on it, and then years later I said, hey, you still have that TPG? He said, nope, Mike's Arcade sells them. So that's where you can get them. You can get them at our arcade shop, or I want to say Mike's Arcade Shop, and maybe Paradise Arcade. I have to look that up. But either way, just, I got mine from Mike's Arcade, and Mike's Arcade actually has the cables. Arcade Shop does not. So Mike's Arcade makes these cables for you, the ones I'm doing now. You can make your own if you want. I'm just redoing his because I find that they're a little, maybe it's just this batch or something, but a lot of them came out. I've had these, wow, probably like 5 years I've had this thing. Because I think his 6-year anniversary passed around last year, so it might be even 7 years that he has this, because I had a giveaway. I actually gave one of these away on my channel. So this is it right here. I'm off screen here. I'm thinking I'm on camera there, but I'm not. Sorry about that. But yeah, these things are pretty awesome. So I would definitely invest in one. If you were a subscriber last year, I gave one away, like I said. So I think Dylan is the guy who won it. Ironically, he was in Alaska, like the furthest state. I said only, I'm only going to mail it out to the US, and he was the furthest state out. But it didn't really matter to me because Mike's Arcade, I ordered it and just sent it straight to him. So basically it was Mike's issue to have it done. But yeah, so he won it. But definitely would recommend it. Oh, you know what? I don't need this. I'm just going to do that. So I'm using these 0.156 connectors, and they're made for 18 to 20 gauge wire, which is these. These are like, if you ever wire up control panels and stuff, like for micro switches, that's what the gauge is for that. I'm going to try using these. These are a little different than the other ones that I normally use. They're 156, but they just have this little connector here, so like it kind of contacts it more, and they're really made for, I guess, I'm trying to think what I had this for other connectors. But anyway, the normal ones, I want to see if I have any. Actually, I have one right here that I just took off and I tossed. Oh, no, I didn't. Yes, I did, because I cut it off. Shoot. But anyway, it's a little different than these. Take my word for it. I'll show you them up close in a second. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start crimping these on. And this is a crimper that's actually different from the butt crimper. It has these little channels in there. And let's see if I can go in a little bit. See if we can see that right there. Just turn it a little bit. There we go. So these have 2 channels in there. I don't know if you can see that, if it's focusing on there. But each one will crimp first on the wire itself, which is this part here, this little tiny part, and then it also on the jacket afterwards. So you actually want to make it shorter than that. These are a little too long, but it's kind of going to crimp like that. And I'm going to cut it slightly because I made them a little too long. All right, twist them together. And I'm going to try crimping on it. So with this crimper, you don't have to do it twice. You actually just crimp one time. So I'm going to put it in here. It says 18 to 22, which is this side right there. And a lot of people think you put it in this way. It's actually not the case. You're supposed to put it in the opposite way. So you grab it like that, kind of just do it till it clicks, and then you stick the wire in. So that's what I'm about to do. Right there. And then you crimp down, and that's your crimp. So if you look really closely, I'll point with this thing if you can see it. There's the wire part that's crimped, and then there's the jacket which got crimped as well. So that's a perfect crimp, does it all in one shot. It's really easy. I'm not sure this will fit in here, so let me just try fitting it in. I think the yellow went on this side, and it goes in like, just make sure, I'm pretty sure it goes in this way. So actually it goes in like that. All right, so that's in there, fits perfectly. And then, yep, it's gonna grab it nice. So that's one. And then I'll just do another one real quick. And then let me get, I'm gonna say HS Sitgo. I'm not gonna say it the way I think we should say it, but anyway. Random question, what's your go-to switching power supply for arcade games? I don't want to go overkill, but I don't mind paying a little more for quality. I actually will go and get that for you. I'll show you what I get because I have them like right here. I go with the Hap Pros. They're a little hard to find. That's the only problem. Arcade Shop used to have them. You should be able to hear me still. I'm on my wireless mic, but Arcade Shop did have them, and they were around 25 bucks, but they're out of stock. I don't know if they're getting them back, but they have these cheaper ones in place of those now. You could always call them and ask them. But I ended up getting about 10 of them directly from Hap. It took because of COVID, it took a couple months to get to me. But I swear by these because those cheaper, 8-liners or Peter Chow's end up breaking. So I always replace it with this. So this is it right here. Here, I'll back out for you. So this is it, it's brand new, and let me just make sure I don't lose that. I think I did, I lost one of the heads, that's fine. Anyway, so this is it, comes in a box just like this. You open it up, this is it right here, it's brand new, and it says, if you look at it, Suzo Hap, it's by them, and normally it says like, I forgot what it says. It says Power Pro on it, but these are the ones that I got directly from Suzo Hap that are the same ones. So I recommend, going straight to them. I'm trying to think, Power Pro. If you just type in Hap, don't type in Suzo Hap, just type in Hap, because that's the original company that got acquired by them. So Hap Power Pro, and you'll see it come up. You'll see a picture on, on Google or something. But these are great. They have the typical +5 at 15 amps, the grounds, the -5, which is important. Some don't have -5, and then +12. Now some power supplies and some boards, really rare, older ones, they need -12, so these won't work with those, but this will work for JAMA. So I typically use it for JAMA. I like to wire my cabinets JAMA and then just use the converter, the JAMA to whatever board it is, converter. And then it has these little legs that you can attach to the bottom, which attach like right here. There's like 2 screws. You can see right there, and they attach kind of like that right on there. Oops, actually it goes this way. Yeah, and then the other part, comes with all the screws you need. So these are probably around 35 bucks, maybe $40. I don't know, because they're not made anymore. I mean, they make them, just, I guess everybody's going with the cheaper options, but I rather have quality because you're connecting a board on there that you don't want anything to happen to. And some of the boards that I have, they're worth a lot of money. Like a good example, that the Galaga 88 that I have, it's probably close to $800 or $1,000 for that board. And you don't want to have a cheap power supply. So I would say don't cheap out. It's kind of like PC power supplies. You can get cheap ones or you can get really good ones. But yeah, these are switching power supplies. And then, do I have it around here? I'm looking for my other power supply that I just bought. I might have put it somewhere. Yeah, I can't find it. But anyway, I bought a PC power supply because I'm upgrading my power supply, getting ready for the new RTX 3080 or 3090, depending what's in stock. I just need a more powerful, rendering engine for my PC. I don't really game. Well, I game, but just more classic games. Every now and then I'll play like computer games, but the ones I play really aren't that demanding. So I'm going to get it just for the rendering power. But anyway, that was that. So I'm going to zoom in again just to make sure I'm all focused up here. This is where I am. Okay, cool. So let me get back to this. But yeah, so that's what I recommend. Hap Power Pros. And I actually typed that in. Their description on Hap might have even said Power Pro, and I ended up buying it, and they sent me those instead. But those are still the, the correct legit ones, and they're not bootlegs like Peter Chow's or anything like that. Let's see, what else do you have? Can't sleep, so now I'm here. Welcome, D-Wags. Is it D-Wags or O-Wags? My monitor's just not focusing as good. Yeah, you know what, Justin, actually, I don't know if you're looking for power supplies, but if you're there, somebody check if Hap Power Pros are available at Mike's Arcade. I have no idea. I haven't really checked. I know at Arcade Shop, they used to have them, and they were the cheapest out of all the vendors. They were the cheapest ones. They had them for like $24.95 or something like that. So I used to buy a whole bunch of them, but now when I looked last, he actually changed the picture on the website there, so it's different. So I'm not really going to order them anymore from there. Brian, you and everybody else is getting a 3080. Yeah, I'm getting, the one I want to get is the Tough by Asus. Or Asus, some people say Asus, I say Asus. The Tough one is the best. It has a really good military grade, whatever that means, capacitors. So, because I know there were issues with that, and the software kind of underclocks it a little bit so it won't freeze. But I want the good ones. So, and then my motherboard, I have a X570 motherboard, Asus Prime one, so I'm not sure if it's a Republic of Gamers, but it has like, the typical RGBs on it with Aura and stuff like that. Yep. I used to actually, in high school, I used to work at a place that built computers, so that's how I got into it. And ever since then, I've always built my computer, even before it was like popular to do that. So, all right, so what I'm doing now, let me see if I can go on. I'm trying to use this as my marker for my center. So that's centered up, and this is where I gotta go. All right, so I'm just gonna put it in here. Crimp it. Comes out perfect, you can see. There's the jacket that got crimped, and then the wire that got crimped. So then I'm gonna take this, put it in here. These are just stuff like little things that I just needed to get to, and I just kept putting it off. And tomorrow I'm going to a guy's house to try to fix his machine. He actually put an ad, this is what I'm talking about, like paying it forward. He put an ad on Facebook Marketplace for Mr. Do. And that's one of my favorite games. And in it, he wrote, hey, it's a little sentimental to me, but it's not working right, so I'm just gonna let it go. And he had it for cheap, like for $200 or something. And I ended up just contacting him saying, hey, I could fix it for free if you want, just pay for parts. So that's what I'm doing. I'm heading out there. I actually headed out there and looked at it, and he probably needs his monitor. He has a 4600, it needs to be rebuilt. The board works, I tested that, but then when I went to test the monitor, I know the 4600 works, but of course this thing was broken when I was trying to go do it, and it wasn't working right. So I was like, well, I'll just come back, and he's pretty local to me, so I'm gonna try to head back tomorrow since I'm off and I'm on vacation, and I'll check it out and see. He's also interested in building a bar top, so I'm gonna bring mine to show him and stuff. So he's a pretty nice guy. And you know, we're safe with the COVID. We both wear masks and we keep our distance, and you know, I wear gloves and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna take all these out and redo all these, because actually, you know what? Let me test this on here and see how it connects with those new connectors on here. So that goes like that. And I think that's gonna go this way. Is it? Yeah. Yep. Works pretty good. Nice. All right. So I'll put strain relief on that later, but I think I'm gonna take these out and just redo all of these because I do not trust them, like I said. I know it sounds dumb, but and these have the better connectors on there too. So let me try with this first. So Rob Harkus here is a good friend of mine. I actually met him through YouTube. He was a guy that ended up, I ended up talking to more often through Messenger, and then we got to know each other. I don't think we've all physically met, actually. We have a whole bunch of guys like that. I went to ZapCon one year and actually met most of the people that I talked to online. But Rob, we talk probably every week. We have this thing we call the Arcade Thursdays that we get together on Zoom. And a whole bunch of us get together. And I kind of talked about it before, but we're probably going to have something called Delusional's Roundtable where we just all hang out and do stuff. I invite guests every week. Somebody new, somebody different, or sometimes, you know, regulars. We have people like Jeff Kinder is there. My other buddy Mike is there. My other buddy Jason is there. Rob Harker. Brian, who's hanging out here, and so is Rob. So it's pretty cool. We have a good stuff. You know, we just got to figure out a format because we get pretty raunchy. We're just a bunch of guys. Oh, that Tim guy hangs out with us every now and then too, which is cool. You should check out his channel. He has a good channel. And let me just try to get this. I'm just trying to punch it in there. No, that's too much. I can't do that. So yeah, I'm actually trying to get these stupid little pins out, and I don't have the proper, actually I think I do have the proper tool to do it. I just can't remember where it is, but you know, this is usually destructive, but I don't really care if it's destructive because I'm taking them out. So there's that one, and I just take the hook and pull it out if it wants to come out. You know what, let me get the screwdriver. I'll be right back. Yeah, those pins are a pain in the ass. I bought like a tool for it, and it doesn't work. It was like a waste of money. Let me try to look over here. I'm bringing like every screwdriver possible. I'm looking here. Yeah, I guess that'll do. And I'll show you the tool. All right, so the tool that I have is this thing. This reminds me actually of those, I've seen them on Facebook and stuff. They have like a whole tool of these. There's like 20 of them, and they say, hey, you can open anything, and they're showing like them taking out stuff from harnesses. So this, I'm not really sure how to use. If you put it down like this and push down, or if you go under here, I'm not really sure. Maybe if you put it in there, go down, or do you put it in here? I'm not really sure. Anyway, this to me is useless. So I have a small screwdriver that I got from some kits that I just push down on the tabs, kind of bend them down like I just did. Yeah, this has more leverage, so it's gonna work better. And then I'll use this little hook to kind of pull them out. That's probably the best method right there. They're pulling out really good now. So RGB, red, green, and blue, and black. Okay. Now let's put it in just like that. And I'll snip each one off. I just want to examine one of his crimps here. Yeah, so I'm going to try to hold out my hand and show you the difference between these two. All right, can you see the difference there? It's on camera there. So basically one of them has, this is the one that was in there before, it's more smooth. So when the wire hits it, it's only touching that one surface, but this kind of has these little things on the side where it touches the side ones and the surface at the same time. So this one here is superior versus that one, which is not. So these are the ones I'm putting on now, and this is the old ones. So we'll see how it goes. Let me just take all these out now. And I'll catch up with chat in 1 second. So I finally figured out how to use this live stream on YouTube. I used to always go to people, hey, can you hear me? Like, you know, in the chat. You could actually do that ahead of time and stream with your software, but you just don't go live till you actually press the button in YouTube. So maybe I'll do a tutorial on that one day just for idiots like me. But I was able to do all the sound tests ahead of time and all that good stuff. I got to build new graphics too. I just, again, you know, time. Maybe I'll get my buddy Mike to help me with that, because he said he was going to help me with some editing, but maybe he can just help me make some elements that I need. I just have to find all my files. I don't know where I put all of them for like After Effects and all that, but we'll see. All right, so let me look. Hey, you wrote blame COVID, Rob. That's funny. Yeah, I'm going to grab my wireless mouse and see if it reaches all the way over here. Does it? It does not. Oh wait, yes it does. Cool. I just got to scroll up to read. All right, so Brian was saying, we were talking about the 3080. He said he's going to go for EVGA. Yeah, EVGA is a good brand. I actually wanted to own it just for like status symbol, you know, just like having an Apple phone. I prefer Android, but I had Apple for years, and then finally I was like, let me go Android, and now I just never turn back. But anyway, EVGA is really good. I actually have an EVGA power supply. I got an 850 watt that I bought just to kind of be compliant, so that when the cards do come out, you know, I feel like the power supplies are going to get sold out. That's the next thing that's going to go, because there was some limited stock on that, because prices have gone up on those. But I bought mine now. I'm going to put it in, and then when the thing comes, I won't have to scramble and try to find it. Let's see, what else are we seeing here? Oh yeah, Brian, it's true. They do have a step-up program in EVGA. They were exclusive. I think they had something with like, they were pre-selling it to members only or something if you're EVGA. I can't remember what it was. Let me just go over here to see a better resolution on this monitor. Okay, so it's DWAGs. Gotcha. Yeah, I couldn't read it on this monitor. I'm actually using a TV that I converted to an extra monitor that I can see the feed through, but it's like really low resolution, and it looks like OWAGs, but it's really DWAGs. Cool. So now I'm just catching up, like I said. DWAGs, that dental tool, all you have to do is go on Amazon, type in dental tools. One of my really good friends, you know, he's all military and stuff, and he has like a gun collection, goes hunting. So he told me that he has a kit. Actually, I have one on order again because I'm ordering some more because I wanted brushes as well. that he uses to, you know, take the carbon out of his guns and stuff because you have to clean his guns. And he said these work great for arcade stuff. So then I ordered a kit, and like I use these things for everything. It's great. So now I'm going back. Any update on the Gap Plus CP wiring video? That's funny. You know, I kind of put that on the back burner, and I'll tell you why. I actually took a step backwards. That's Osman8 asked, you know, what's happening with the video that's coming out. I was gonna do like a series of like 4 or 5 videos. Like I didn't want it to be like a 10-parter. I wanted it to be 4 parts. The final one's gonna be wiring, and then the machine and gameplay. And I might have actually a 5th one just with gameplay, but it won't be part of the series. So anyway, I decided, okay, you know, there's some other stuff I need to do outside while the weather's good. So I'm rushing to do everything before it gets cold. It's starting to get cold now. And everything with that Gap Plus I can do all that indoors. I don't have to wait, you know, like rush outside to do stuff with painting. So I'm taking my time. I actually took a step back and decided I had everything assembled inside, and I ended up taking everything out. So here's one of the things I took out. I'll show you real quick. And let me just get all these screws off of it. Well, you can see here, like I dropped some screws on here, but this is actually the power supply. Check it out. So I wired everything up, put the ISO in there. I have the filter, I have the fuse. I show you guys how to do all that. So that's part of the wiring, and this block here is just a block. But then what I ended up doing is taking it all out and decided I want to paint the inside black and bling it out. So I actually have to take this apart again, paint it black, and then put it all back in the screw holes and stuff. So I started taking the screws out already. But this is it. That's the power thing. So I am working on it, just a little slower. And I did, like I said, I took a step back because after I had the whole thing assembled, I redid it. I'll show you something. Let's see. Let me show you something real fast. This is going to be, you know, it's kind of like a Q&A. Let's see here. Okay. So you guys have seen this, right? This is the panel that I built for Gap Plus. It's the Pacific Arcade's graphics. Looks really cool. You see that? I have like, you know, the button here. I started lighting it up. I put LEDs underneath already. I'm just doing some tests. You can see the LED. I had a special 3D printed holder here. My buddy Mike made for me. That's what we do on Arcade Thursdays. We all brainstorm. We have fun on Zoom, but we actually do stuff where we're measuring stuff and he's 3D printing stuff. So I originally had this on it, which I'll show in the video, where I just kind of made something that will point to it, you know, just doing some tests. But then he made me this one. He goes, hey, let's just make one. So he took this design right here and made it into that. So pretty cool stuff. This is actually an 8-way joystick in my panel, like you see there. And what I've been doing is, and you guys will probably be shocked on this one, or maybe not, I don't know. But here it is. So I worked on a 4-way version. So this is a swappable panel with the classic Gap Plus artwork. And this is a 4-way. So, and it also has an additional button, which I did not drill. Someone else did that, but I left it there. So, because I figured this could be a test panel. If I want to play like a bit kit or something like that, I could just swap the panel, throw the bit kit on the harness, because I have an 8-way, you know, JAMA switcher, and then play 4-way games. So, came out beautiful. Again, did all that underneath. I just have to wire it up. So yeah, so the reason it's taking a little longer is because I stopped everything and did, you know, this panel right here, because this panel required that I go outside, sand it down, paint, you know, so stuff that I do outside, I'm kind of knocking those out, but it will come, don't worry, be patient. It's gonna be awesome. Let me just put this back on my Gap Plus so it won't get messed up. I also have some 3D printed stuff that I've been working on with Mike. where I've gotten a variety of colors now. These are actually PCB holders that are going inside. So these will be placed inside. Again, you know, I took everything out, painted it, so I got to put everything back in. But these are going to be 3D printed to hold. Each one says something like this says Galaga 88. This says Bomb Jack. I may not put Bomb Jack in there, but they're all specific for each PCB, so it's pretty cool. I don't know if you noticed, but they're the colors of Gapless, the stripes on the side. So I'm blinging it out inside. It's going to match kind of the outside. It's going to have black lighting inside. It's going to look awesome. So I want the inside to look as cool as the outside. Why not, right? So it was a fun little project. Because I try to set the bar pretty high for myself. So this fits in there. Let me do the rest here. So RGB. Let me just update everything on here, get updated with the chat. Wow, you guys are chatting a lot. Hey, what's going on, Alfred? Alfred Burger's on. I'm just kind of saying hi to everybody, just kind of looking at my chat here. So I'm just gonna quickly crimp these and then we'll move on and maybe we'll play some games because I feel like playing Zookeeper. So you guys already know I own a Zook. It's a Zook Q board by J-Rock. He actually made one for me, which is great. Which I'm going to end up keeping, of course, because I want to do the restoration. But if you guys are following me on Twitter and Instagram, you know that I acquired a Zookeeper. It was a Project Cab, you know, Zookeeper clone, right? Because it's basically a conversion with running the J-Rock. So then I had two of the boards, and I decided to keep one as a backup. Because you never know. I mean, you know, 30 years from now, let's say J-Rock's not making them anymore, they're going to become pretty rare. So I'm just going to keep them. So, you know, ironically, you know, I was looking for a Zook. I was actually looking for one panicking earlier this year before they got sold out. And then contacted J-Rock because I know him through a mutual friend. And he actually was starting to make them, and he made me one really quick and then made the rest of them on his bench and then sent them out to Mike's Arcade, and they instantly got sold out. So I lucked out with that. But yeah, so the one I picked up had it inside. It had a Zook inside, so I have two. Which, like I said, I'm going to keep as a backup. Because, you know, it's not like you can go to a store and buy a new one. So, okay, so these are the ones I just cut. I just want to make sure that they're out. This is a new one. That's a new one. Oh, you know what? This is one that I replaced. So that one too, yep. Let me go ahead and take these out. Just make sure they're good. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Yep. I'll take out more because I need for the other side. So I'll quickly do these. It's amazing, these tools are just so great. Once you go like ratchet on this thing, you'll never go back. It's just so much better. There's one, perfectly crimped. I give it a little tug just to be safe. Put the next one in. I'm going to stay zoomed out, that way you guys can see more. I showed you close up at the beginning, but what's cool is that the ratchet, you can see I put it down, it's still holding it. So it's really cool that it's, you know, easy to do. That's the next one, crimped. Oh, that one came out. See, that's why you give it a tug. That wasn't a good crimp. All right. Did I get that? No, that's actually a not good crimp. Man, I screwed that one up. I went too far and put the jacket in, so like the actual wire is in front of it. So that is not good, and I don't want to cut the wire to make them all different lengths either. So I'm going to try to salvage it here by cutting this open. Wow, I really got it in there. I might have to cut it. Let me open this up here. I'm gonna end up cutting it. That sucks. So then that one will go in more and it'll be crooked. It's not what I wanted. Oh, that might have worked. I'm just gonna cut it. No choice, sorry. It's easier to just redo it like that. Try to keep it civil. It was getting crazy. What's up, Arcade Nuts from TortureBot? Omega Mark said, hey ya. It says 1:45 a.m. on the East Coast. That's right. It's my time here too. I'm actually off from work on vacation, and I had to cut my vacation a little short. I was supposed to go traveling, but those states that I was going to travel into now have an advisory, so I'm not doing it. It's not worth the risk. So it's going to be a staycation now. That should do it. What I wanted to do, I just want to, let me get my multimeter real quick. I just want to make sure I have continuity, that they're crimped correctly. And I just did, the green one? So I'll hook on the front part here, and then I'll just do continuity. Green. Yep. Works good, and I'll just test red just for the heck of it. Yep. All right. Multimeters never lie, so don't rely on your eyesight. Cool. So Mega Mark is saying twist the wires with the severed insulation still on. No grease from the fingers on the wires. I guess that's a good idea. I see what you're saying. But the problem is, I use this and it just takes it right off. But I see what you're saying. If you were to do a deeper one, you can do that and then kind of just pull it and twist it as you're taking it off. But yeah, I guess. So let me go ahead and do this, these other ones pretty quickly. I feel like I'm taking forever because I'm chatting, but that's the whole point, right? This is kind of relaxed and chill. That one's a good one. And then the last one. After a while, you do these like in your sleep. But it's been a while since I've done them. All right, nice and tight. All right, cool. So I'm gonna put this in. Let's see, that one goes closer, so that red goes first. Let me go ahead and put that in. One, then green is next. It's a little shorter, but I'll have to figure it out. Blue is next. It's a little long. And then black, which is ground. All right, so those are in. It's a little crooked, but I'm gonna try to make up for that by using some zip ties, which I have to go grab. All right, I'm grabbing them now. I'll give myself probably another 30 minutes and then I'm gonna go play some games. You guys can come along. I'll probably play maybe Miss Pac-Man, maybe Zookeeper, maybe Crystal Castles. Don't know yet, but all right, so because these are all different lengths, I'm actually just gonna make them one length here so they're equal. And then do that so it's nice. And then you can see see how it's uneven. So I'm gonna have it not be near the edge over there. Because if they're uneven, sometimes it'll make it pull out. I don't want that. TortureBot, I've never used one of those video amps from Ultimark. I have no idea. He does some good stuff though, Andy. That's Andy over at Ultimark. Great customer service, so you could always email him. He's pretty responsive. And I'm sure, you know, if you're having issues with it, he gives really good tech support. I've had like an iPack I bought for him like over 10 years ago that for whatever reason just wasn't working right. And it turned out like the chip or something on it fried. I don't know if it was my fault or if it just died. And he sent me a new chip. So I took the old one out, it socketed and put the new one in and boom, it was done. And it had the latest software in there, which worked out great. And that's Andy. And I don't think I even bought the iPack. Like I bought one, I've been a big customer of his, like where I bought tons of stuff, but the actual iPack I had was a hand-me-down that somebody gave me for free. And he still stood by his product even though I didn't buy it. It's pretty cool. All right, so that's good enough for me. Nice and strong. This one too, I'm gonna maybe put some strain relief on that one. YouTube Punk, what's going on? Yeah, we got like 14 people hanging out. That's cool. You know, stuff like this, this is how much I love you guys, right? Because typically I don't do a stream and I'll work on stuff like this while I'm listening to podcasts and stuff. You know, because it's just quiet and, you know, it's like me time. It's like, you know, like in my old house, I used to mow the lawn. It has a ride-on mower. I just put on headphones and listen to podcasts the whole time. It was great. But now I'm kind of busy all the time. I usually don't do that. I could do it actually when I drive, but I just don't for whatever reason. But it's cool. You get in the mood. You listen to arcade-related podcasts. I listen to like 10 Pence podcasts. You ever listen to them in the UK? Yeah, they're pretty cool. think Vert Vic is on there, and Mr. Holly's on there as well. Coin Rejects is another good one. What do you guys listen to? What kind of podcasts? Hey, thanks, YouTube Punk. I appreciate that. Everything goes towards the channel. I'm actually thinking about demonetizing it completely. And, you know, just to eliminate all the ads. Because those mid-roll ads just got so annoying that I actually removed them all from all of my videos. So I only have the ones at the beginning. And the reason I have them is because I heard, I don't know if this is true, but they're saying that people on YouTube will delete your channel or ban you or something if you don't have any ads, because like you're really not making any revenue for them. So people who demonetize them are kind of, you know, it's a free account, so they can kill it at any time. But if you're a YouTube partner, they'll kind of think twice and be like, oh, you know, he makes us money, so let's not kill him right away. So, but I do have everything backed up just in case YouTube were to go down. You know, you never know. But yeah, thanks. I'm looking to get a 4K camera. I wouldn't say soon. I'm actually waiting. I decided I was gonna get it like this month, and then I decided to wait for Black Friday deals or something. You know, just to have more options. But I want something that's definitely 4K. I want 60 frames per second, maybe higher for doing slow motion stuff. I want detachable lenses. I bought a Canon a couple of years ago and I ended up returning it. I was not happy with it whatsoever because it wouldn't shoot the monitors correctly. No matter what I did, I'm pretty good. Everybody's like, hey, you gotta just set the, you know, the shutter speed. Yeah, I know all about that. That's what I do for a living, so. But for whatever reason, the Canon wouldn't do it. But like my $100 other Canon camera, which is a camcorder, did it just fine. So I ended up returning it because 90% of my stuff is going to be in my arcade. And if I can't film my own arcade machines, then I'm not going to buy it. So this is good. I put strain relief on here. I put strain relief here as well so that, you know, it'll be good. And this should fit perfectly in here. Where that goes there. Yeah. Goes in that way, and then RGB goes in this way. Boom. So that's good. Now I just got to do the other side. So you see how like it's really hard to grip it. What I may do is just maybe I'll install something on here that's a little rougher so I can at least grip it. But it's really hard to grab. But if you had these little hooks on there, like I have connectors that have them on there, they would never come out. So, you know, I like to keep them out if possible. So now you can see these here compared to this one. This is the one I just did, right? Zoom in over here. Okay, this is the one I just did. This is the one that's screwed up. You see how it's like coming out already? So, you know, I'm just gonna redo all of them. These came out awesome and they have the really good connectors that grip really good on them. So let's do this side and we'll be done. So I'll stay close like that. I just gotta see. I have to put some sort of marker down. Maybe I'll use this. This is actually my thing I use for putting on artwork. I'll put it like that. Just so we can get, I think that's some Bondo in there. I need to get like centered up so I know where the center of the camera is. There we go. Cool. So I'm just gonna snip these off. It's probably easier to keep them on to take them out, but I do have this hook thing, so it's kind of easy at this point. So push down, and then yeah, still got to push down a little more. These are such a pain. I'm pushing extra hard now actually because I don't care if I break them because I'm taking them out. But normally you don't want to press that hard because you'll want to reuse them. All right. So it looks like yellow was on the right. Okay. Let me take this out. quickly do this. This one's a little too long. So the crystal castles that I got, there's a really nice guy, his name is John. He's a collector, he's in New Jersey, and I went and picked it up with my son. I did a double pickup that day. It was in really nice shape. I want to say it's like B plus, maybe A minus. I say A minus because it has scratches on the side, like this one scratch that actually it's going to become an A or an A plus, because I think what I want to do, and a lot of people haven't done this, but I think I'm going to hire an artist or even try it myself to touch it up and maybe learn from the person that comes over. And, you know, I'm going to get permission from them to film and everything. So right now I'm scouting out people that can do that, but instead of getting whole new side art, the side art's in like perfect shape, but it just has this S curve, like a huge S curve scratch that's not really a dent, but it still took off the paint. So I'm gonna see if somebody can touch it up. Because that's the thing, people actually do that where they color match everything and sit there and commission, you know, fixing paint, stuff like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, I think. I'm gonna take out a few more. But it's gonna be cool. So anyway, you know, that's the only thing that was wrong with it. And then of course, everything just needs to be rebuilt inside. I think the board got worked on, but when I looked at inside, it had the original Big Blue in there. It had, you know, the original fuse block and the original fuses. So I'm gonna go ahead and change everything out because he did have the board repaired, but it's very possible that that's why it got messed up in the first place. So I'm gonna check voltages, make sure everything's cool, and then, you know, start from square one just to make sure everything is good. Kind of bulletproof it a little bit. So even though technically bulletproofing is not bulletproofing, because I bulletproofed my millipede and that thing died, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. And it turned out when I rebuilt the AR, there were some diodes that had cold solder joints. So I put them in properly this time and did a really, really good job on it. And hopefully it'll be good from now on. So I think the yellow was on this side, so I'm gonna put that right there. And the white's gonna go in here. And that is way better than it was. So now I'll take this one apart. You know, I know you're like, why are you doing that? You're taking it apart. They're just not connected right. They're not crimped as good as they should be. So let me go ahead and mash these together. You know, Randy Fromm, I've noticed, Crush Arcade. What's up, by the way, Crush Arcade? I noticed he's on Facebook. Like he wanted to, you know, I see like people are friending him and stuff. And it says, hey, you have Randy Fromm's here. You have 5 mutual friends. And I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna, I try not to friend people if I can help it on Facebook. I'm just there just to hang out. But I hardly use Facebook anymore, to be honest. I have a separate account for my family and me, and then I have the Dell's Arcade one. But yeah, he's on Facebook now. I guess he's discovering the technology, and you know, it'd be cool actually. Maybe I'll have him. Like I've been inviting just different people to my show to talk and just to hang out on Zoom. So some get recorded, some don't. Most don't. Sometimes the recording will get botched up because I'm still learning how to capture on my computer. I can edit great, it's just capturing. You know, I'm learning, it's a learning process, but it'd be cool to have them on there. All right, so those are all out. I can go ahead and snip all these. These are going a lot faster than the other one. I was actually I had planned to do a whole video with, you know, doing a cap kit, K7000, and then I'm like, you know what, let me just go online and do a live stream of me putting together a K7000 and seeing if they work, and you know, but I got a little tired. So I decided to do this instead because this needs to be done anyway. I might actually go ahead another time just offline and just build another one of these cables just to have as a backup in case one of these comes out when I'm on the field or something, then I can't use it, which is what happened last time. So I'm going to go ahead and twist them just like TortureBot told me not to. Get that grease in there. All right. Stick these in. So we got about 17 people. It's not too bad for unannounced. I try to announce them as best I can, but sometimes like I'll announce it and then I won't feel like streaming. So it's a catch-22 there. That's good. Or like sometimes I want to stream and then like kids have other ideas, so you end up not streaming. But I may or may not do something tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see how tired I am. Actually, that's not good. It got tangled. So I'm trying to... No, there's a way you can take it out. There we go. I started crimping it, but then this other one got caught in there. So this is still salvageable. Let's see, I'm trying to get it on. I keep forgetting to go around that thing there, my marker. All right. I'll try to be good. And the last one. What's the ambient music, YouTube? You're talking about here? Oh, the ambient music of Zookeeper is what you mean? Yeah, I'm gonna play that probably at the end of this. I could pretty much do I could do pretty good. I'm all right. My goal is to go to John Jacobson's house, John's Arcade, eventually, once all this COVID crap is done, and post a nice score on there. Because I think he said it was 6 million, I think. This one's coming out. What a bummer. I didn't crimp it good enough here. But yeah, I could be greasing it up. You're very right. It might be. I think it's over here. Anyway, so my goal is to get more than 6 million, and I can't do that now. I'm not even close. But I'm starting to get the techniques going, and my high is 1.8 million. That's on MAME. So now I'm playing the Zook board, which is, FPGA. So I'm working my way up. So we'll see how it goes. We'll mess around today. It gets pretty exciting. It'll be totally opposite of what we're doing here. Let's crimp it really good. There we go. All right, that's good. So now I'm going to put in R, then G, and then blue for right there, and then black is the last one. There we go. So now I got to do some strain relief, and then we're good. So Omega Mark is saying, where is No Way? Oh, No Way is from, like, where is it you're saying, or can you hear it? Because right now I have Total Carnage running on my Smash TV, because it's Total Carnage cab conversion. But I do have Smash TV typically running in there, but ever since I fixed the board, there was an audio issue with the transistor was bad on the amp. I fixed it, so now I have audio, so I have that game running when I first turn it on. I turned on the arcade and it defaults to that. And then if I hold player 1 and 2 down, it switches over to Smash TV. And then I think, I'm trying to think what else I have in there. I think I have my J-Rock, I want to say Milestar board in there, because there's a couple of cool games that are twin stick shooters in there. So I have that in there for now until I get my reactor up and going. Because as you guys know, if you missed the last stream, I got a reactor. So I'm going to do a restoration on that probably next after I do all this stuff. It's all going to be indoor stuff. I do not need to paint it or anything. It's all pretty much done. I just got to apply artwork and fill it up with guts. So this is it, all set, nice and sturdy. I'm going to put some strain relief. I'll put some more over here. So Crush Arcade, you're saying 6 million, your high score is 1.2. I could pretty consistently get 1 million actually now. So now I'm working my way to learn the patterns of the boards, because like the nets in Zookeeper appear in different areas. So you have to know where they are and be there when they appear and use that strategy. So that's what I'm starting to do now, is learning the patterns. But sometimes, you know, the game, it's like any other game, right? Like Donkey Kong, sometimes the fireballs just do crazy stuff. Every now and then, you know, it'll give me a cheap death, like by coconuts or something, or, you know, you'll see in a few minutes, because I'm going to play soon. I think right after this I'm going to do it, once I finish this, because I'm not doing the monitor stuff tonight. Maybe I'll do it during the week sometime. Like I said, I'm on vacation, so I just need a couple more zip ties and we'll be good. I'm actually just doing that. I want to keep these together if possible. Yeah, it looks pretty janky, but it'll work fine. There's one there. And if you guys want me to play Miss Pac-Man, I can do that tonight too. I'm trying to hit 250,000 on that. I'm just shy of that. But I do pretty good. I like the fast one. The other one to me is boring, so I never play it. But okay, cool. Yeah, Omega Mark. I'm actually looking at, I learned that the hard way about the Big Blue. If you push it down too much, it does touch the plate and you do short it. I was popping fuses left and right, wondering what the heck did I do wrong? I thought it was because I installed the voltage regulator wrong, but you guys actually benefited from that, because I did a whole video on how to do it correctly, and I do mention do not push it all the way down. And I also, the voltage, is the voltage regulator? I'm trying to think, no, I don't think it's called that. I'm trying to think of what it is. But it's the one with the 4 prongs on it. I just can't think of what it is. It's basically 4 diodes put together on this one piece. It's a square. And the new one was different. It wasn't in the same position, so you have to figure out where to put it. And I kind of go through that in the video. And I had to figure it out the hard way, but you know, you learn, and that's how you do stuff. All right, so that's good to go. This is all repaired, and I'm just gonna kind of just put it away, put this away as well, and zoom out a little bit, and then we'll switch cameras to my arcade. You know what, I'll just leave this here. It's a big mess, but I'll clean it up tomorrow. Cool, so let me just catch up real quick. I'm heading over to my computer. where I can actually read proper text. By the way, big shout out goes to YouTube Punk, who did a super chat. He wrote, beer on me, bro. Thanks for all your help. And he put $10 towards the channel, which is cool. You know, I usually don't ask for any money, so don't worry, it's all voluntary. But it is cool that he did that. Thanks a lot. Really wish I could hang out with a lot of people here, like, you know, at shows. But again, with this pandemic, it's really hard. Let's see. He also wrote ambient arcade sound effects ASMR. ASMR is when they whisper and stuff and they do all the sound effects and in the mic, and yeah, it is therapeutic. You know, I have to say, every time like I want to just decompress, you just turn on the arcade and sit down here, and even if you're working on the computer doing work, the background is just so soothing to me. Brian, you just said it's Kalen. I actually saw Kalen. I'm not sure if I actually talked to him, but I played his machine, and he had a Zook running in there. It's funny because the Zook, the year prior to that, I had gone as well to ZapCon out in Arizona. Kalen, I think, is in California, so he probably drove it down. But Brian, who's good friends with J-Rock, had the prototype, or basically the final version of Zookeeper, like a month before it got released. And he had it at ZapCon, and it was in his kicks cab, and he goes, check this out. You know, he like kind of just pulled me aside, look at this, and held the two buttons down, and bam, it came up, and I was like, no way. I was like, this is pretty cool. He did not have Zookeeper enabled, unfortunately, because that is a vertical game for kicks that it was in, but Zookeeper, as you know, is horizontal, but it does actually switch resolutions. So for example, on my Zookeeper over here, I can play kicks on it by holding both buttons down, and it changes it to horizontal. It's pretty cool. It's a little stretched, but still it lets you play it. Bridge rectifier, that's what I was thinking of, Torchabot, thanks. Yeah, it sounds like the flux capacitor, right? Yeah, with the 4 diodes, yeah, that's correct. Yeah, Brian, ASMR is, you know, it's okay. You know, I've listened to it just to see like what the heck everybody's talking about, and I could see why it's kind of like yoga-esque. I guess if you light candles and get in the mood, you know, it's very soothing. Anyway, it's not for everybody. It's not for me. Don't be afraid of that stupid virus. It's just the old people with serious preconditions. That's what Mega Mark said. Yeah, I mean, you know, I've had people I know die from it, so yeah, I kind of, you know, young and old. It all depends which strain you get is what it is. There's some strains that are good, some are bad. Just like a cold or anything else, there's bad colds and good colds. So anyway. Oh, okay, so you went to the same high school as Kaylin? That's cool. Yeah, so his Zookeeper, man, I have to tell you, I had a really good experience out there. When I played it, there was just a random stranger, this guy, he was an older guy, a little older than me, and like, he was just playing. I said, hey man, I've been waiting for a while, you wanna try playing 2 players? He said, sure. And like, we were there for like 2 hours, just playing Zookeeper, trading tips back and forth, and I was telling him how you can keep the animals and make them face the same way and all that. And he was like, dude, I had no idea. And, oh, this is great. And then we played for like 2 hours. And I never got the guy's name. I wish I had gotten it because I'm sure I would have bumped into him again, you know, at a future ZapCon. But that's the only regret I have. I never made it to Kaylin's arcade, no. I'm pretty sure I was in Arizona just visiting. I flew out there for the show, because I have friends out there. Most of the crew I know, you know, they're in Arizona, so. Torchabot, man, sorry to hear that. You said your wife went through the COVID stuff. Wow. So wait, you're saying she went through the COVID crap, meaning like she kept you locked up. Because it said kept me home in the summer while learning at tech school. Yeah, I know I have some coworkers that had it and they were out. So they were describing it, man, and I was like, they're like, even now they're still really careful about it because you're not immune after you get it because there's different strains out there. So even though you've had it, they're still like very careful to not get it again because you can if you get a different strain. Yep. Yeah, they have a law now here where I am in the tri-state area. So if you visit any state that has like, you know, like a, not a lockdown, but they have like rising numbers, they put them on this like do not travel to list. So if you go to them and you come back to your state, you have to quarantine yourself for 14 days. They can't really enforce it, but if you get caught, it's like a $10,000 fine or some crap. I don't know. Yeah, you know, a mega market, it sounds like my parents, like they haven't left their house since like February, where they just, I mean, they go for like doctor's appointments and stuff, but they don't go shopping. They get everything like, you know, there's something called Peapod where you get everything delivered to your house. So I'll talk as I actually set up because I'm going to try to set up this camera here. So, you know, I mean, they're just a little older and my dad is high risk for that because, you know, I mean, he's just getting older and has some health issues. So just got to be careful, you know. But for me, like, you know, we still go out. We go out and like go to the park. We take walks. We jog. We run. Like you can still work out and stuff because I live near a beach where you can do all that stuff. And it's pretty like, it's cool because nobody really congregates there. It's like very open. So as long as you stay active and eat right and stay healthy, I mean, think about it though. I mean, when's the last time you guys had a cold? Probably February, right? Because everybody's sanitizing so well that they're not even getting common colds. So it's kind of cool, but I haven't gotten sick since then, so. Now, food poisoning, that's a different story. But it's not COVID. Yeah. All right, so let me go ahead and I'm trying to bring my phone next to me so I can see the feed. So let me set that up now so that I can kind of position my camera the way I want it. So I'm actually near the machine now. Hang on one second. So Rob in the feed asked, he's actually asking me offline. He said, where can I get that wire that you got? I do have a wire that I do suggest, and you can get on Amazon, and it's pretty cheap. Never go to Home Depot to buy wire, by the way. Hang on, I'm just typing to him now. All right, so let me turn this down. Okay, so now I have my phone set up, and now I can bring over my camera. I just got to switch tripods here. If I get unplugged, I apologize. I don't have a lock mechanism for this thing yet. Let me just take it off. Come on, there we go. All right, I just got to stretch it. Of course, I have it backwards. So, you know what I didn't turn on is my multi-Williams. Hang on. And outrun, of course. Actually, I'm going to leave outrun off, only because the fan is pretty loud on that, and I don't want it to interfere here. So let me shut off this. There we go. See what you guys can see. Oh, there you go. So you can see Zookeeper's in the lineup officially. So if you guys haven't seen it before, there you go. Let me just get some more slack on my, there we go. Right, I'm gonna move it over here. So this is it. It's not in perfect shape. You can see on the top, it's actually getting cut off. Can you see that on the monitor? That's because the bezel isn't placed correctly. There's nothing wrong with the monitor. It's actually the bezel slides down and I have to secure it, and I haven't done that yet. So hopefully, trying to get where you can see it good. I'm trying to like angle it so that you guys can not have the chat block anything. It does, Brian. Robotron is amazing. I'm actually considering, like, I never had a pinball, but if I do, I'm thinking of just getting a Williams because it has those recycled sounds from like Robotron and Defender and all that stuff. It sounds pretty badass. Yep. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, the pinballs. So Omega Mark, you're in Brooklyn? I grew up in Queens. I go there all the time. It's where my parents live. So I'm about, I guess from my house here, I don't know, 45 minutes away from Queens. But if you do hang out, you gotta wear masks, sorry. Later. Take care, YouTube punk. You missed the best part of the stream. So, all right, so I'll leave this here on the side and I'm gonna go ahead. Can you guys hear it okay? All right, I'm gonna start a game. So a little Easter egg at the beginning, I always do it. So you can actually milk it, get some points here, and then you get killed, and it says jump over the animals, but you still get 220 points extra. You don't lose a life, actually. So I kind of just milk it by trying to get 4,000 points on the first board just for fun. Keeps me busy. Let's see if I can, oh, I missed it. I just waited too long. So anyway, you can get 4,000 on the first board. Just kind of fun to do. So since I get bored, it's so slow here, I usually just jump them like crazy just to practice for later. Missed the last guy. It's all right. So I'm going to see if I can milk it a little bit. Just for fun, because I can. All right, so each time you go up, first it's 5,000, then 10,000, then 20,000, and so on. So you could actually exponentially do that forever. That's actually banned, I think, for world records. You're not allowed to do that. Come on. Oh man, I did not mean to do that. That's all right. I still won't start over because I'm going to play a few games here. All right. Full panic mode, Crush Arcade. It's pretty, the first few boards are a little weird. Like I'm milking it now for points left and right, like, but normally you don't have to go crazy like this. But I'll show you some tips so you'll do better. All right, so for these boards, you just want to hold right and the jump button. You just hold it down. Jumps all the way to the top, and then you can start doing what you have to do up here. And then that's it. Boom. Sometimes it gets really nasty where it throws a whole bunch all at once. This one, you want to jump at the last minute and hold it down, keep holding it. Go all the way to the right, jump at the last minute, hold it down. Super easy. So there's patterns for the first two, the third one, and the fourth. It's always the same no matter what. They just keep adding more levels there. So right here, I just want to stay up here as long as possible. I'm actually watching that little timer there to get to the end. You're going to watch it. Whenever it hits the next fruit is when it disappears. So now I'm just going to get some good jumps here, if I can try. I'm just trying basically not to die anymore. That's what my goal is. And get a big jump. Oh, I got greedy there. We'll try it again. So see how I'm standing right here on the edge? Because I want them all to come out this way. When they come out, they always go right there. So now I'm shoving them all back in so they cluster together, and then they're more likely to come out in like that. See, 120,000 point jump. You can get a million point jump on this board if you really try, but I'm not going to. So I'm just waiting for the timer to end here. Cool. All right, now here's the lion. This is where it gets interesting and fun. I may end up dying here, but because there's guys facing the wrong way here. I want them all to go the same way if possible. Whew, that was close. So I'm waiting for the net to appear. It's gonna come soon. So I'm trying to shove all these lions back in if I can help it before it ends, because they're worth 30,000 each, but they all come out, of course. I got a couple. So now you're going to hold right and jump. For the next board, you're getting prepared. So you'll see he'll start throwing coconuts like crazy. He's a bastard. Ah! I didn't mean to do that. I kind of let go of the button by mistake. I got super lucky there. All right, this one you want to go right at the edge there and then jump and hold it down. There's like a little brick there. You go right at the edge where the line is, and then you can jump and do the same thing that you did on the first two. So I'm trying to make them all face the same direction here. It just makes it way easier for them to jump them all. There's always that one facing the wrong way. So I'm just lasting as long as I can here without dying by facing the same way. It just makes it way easier to jump them. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. No! So I'm shoving him back in because there is another one on the bottom here. Whoa, I almost died. So now I can try to get them all back in here before it ends. Keep them in. All right. So 40,000, then it becomes 50,000, then 60,000 and 70,000. Then it goes back to 40,000. It's getting pretty crazy right now. So I'm gonna get that scoop. I say scoop, but it's net at the last minute. I don't want to get it right away. So I'm gonna stay in this area here. Whoa, I didn't realize one was going the other direction. So I'm still waiting, Oh, bad decision there. Whoa. All right, now I'm gonna get it right at the last minute. Boom, right there. So that way it'll last longer. And most of them will be out, and it gives for good jumps in a minute. Sometimes they get past you just like that lion just did. No, that was my last guy. I would have gotten a 1,000,000-point jump there, I think. But yeah, you can see my scores are pretty high. I'm just gonna put in anything right now. Check chat real quick and we'll play a couple more games. Oh, you were in the tournament last time? Yeah, you know, I never got to go to Grinkfest. I almost went last year, and then I just at the last minute I couldn't do it because of work. And then I regret it now. Would have been nice. So it's really pretty painful to play this again because at the beginning it gets really slow. But you know, you work way up. That's why I create my own game in my head that I try to jump in as many times as I can. Like here, you know, it gets a little boring, so I just try to make it fun. So you could do this and jump and go back, and it gives you 100 points. So you get more points here if I jump them. 2,000 versus 100 for putting them in, or 250. I'm just gonna finish it. So this one, you can keep them in there, or you can do what I'm doing and make them come out on purpose. I do that so that they'll cluster up and you'll get more points. But this board, I have to say, it goes pretty quick. All right, so once the Rhino board starts, that's where it starts getting fun. See, I almost landed on them. They got a little tricky there. I just want all the rhinos. Hey, I got them all. Nice. Hope you guys are having fun instead of being bored at home. Nice. All right, this is where it gets a little crazy because those moose, I guess, the moose board or reindeer, whatever you call them, they're just pretty crazy and chaotic here. So now see how everybody's all jumping out here, facing the same way? Look at all the cluster of people here. Get some good scores here. I'm gonna keep that guy in there if I can. Yeah, he decided he wanted to come out anyway. Oh! So the computer cheats, it does. Sometimes what it'll do is, right when you're making that big jump, it'll slow the last guy down so that you hit it. And it's really kind of cheesy that they do that. Now the biggest score I've ever seen on this game is 30 million in one jump. And there is I should link it in the description, but it's pretty cool that the guy does that. Wait, hold on, I'm just concentrating on jumping all these guys. So yeah, he does it, he jumps every single guy in one of the later boards. And it's amazing. It's like a 1-minute video and it shows him doing it. I was like, whoa, when I first saw that. All right, so now let's progress to the lion board, my favorite stuff. There is no kill screen for Zookeeper. It just keeps going and going and going. Eventually the elevators do become invisible during the coconut boards, which makes it extremely hard, but people still manage to get world records. I mean, I think one of the highest scores is what, 32 million? That was scary. I almost died right there. I'm gonna start rotating around because it's getting crazy now. Whoa, that's what I'm saying, like sometimes the glitches will get you, and sometimes they'll help you like they just did with me. I'm trying to chase that lion, but did pretty good, considering. I think it's the elevator board now, yep. So these things become invisible after a while, so you don't know where they are. So I had to kind of trick him and go back down and up, so he'd throw coconuts different places. So this one, it's pretty easy. You just go to the edge, wait till the last second to jump and hold it down. But here you have to go in that little crack right there and hold it down. And that happens every now and then. If you hit it, you don't die, but it makes you not jump over it. Okay, they're mainly facing the same way. Not all of them, but the majority of them are. Yeah, that's a good jump. Yeah, they're being bastards right now. That's also a good jump right there. So now they're all going to come out like gangbusters here. Hopefully. And then I'll get this last one. And I got the last two. Did you see that little lag even though it finished? So yeah, there's like little stuff, you get lucky sometimes, so you kind of gotta push the limit. Man, there's one that's going really fast. So they're all coming out the same way, you see that? No, I didn't mean to do that. All right, let's try it again. See, now they're all going the right way because I'm standing on the left here. So you want them all to go back in so that they all come the other way. So there's none facing the other way now. And when they come out, they stay that way. Trying to keep them that way in there. Come on, come on. You can get some pretty good score here. You get really greedy. So I'm just slowly going around with them, trying not to die until this thing appears at the end. Right here. See how he went slow? I knew I was dead when I was landing. I was like, no, that stupid elephant. So now they're going crazy because they're trying to bust out. So hopefully they won't come out this way. Trying to keep them all in here. I want them to run towards me if I can help it. Oh, there's one that I missed. See, it's starting to lag now a little bit. You see that? Don't ask me how I survived that. But I did. Whoa. Ah. Really hard. Oh, that stupid elephant is just ripping everything up on the top. So it's highly unlikely I'll survive right now. I got 1 million though. That's at least good. Yeah. So there it is, 1 million. I hit it. So you want to keep playing this game, or should I play Ms. Pac-Man? I can do that too. Okay. So let me go ahead and change over. I'm just gonna quickly just move it around. And then let me just move my stuff down here. Okay, that should do it. So right now it has a screensaver because I have the 96-in-1 installed on this. 96-in-1 is not FPGA and it's not emulated. It's actually a kit that goes onto a genuine Ms. Pac board or Pac-Man board. So, let me see here. Let me just make sure this is all correct. So all you do is you just hit any button and it goes. It's pretty cool. It saves the screen because I enable it because Ms. Pac is notorious for having burn-in. But this is the multi-kit that I have on here. So you hold both buttons and press right, and then go to the menu. You can play Ms. Pac-Man, Ms. Pac Plus, Ms. Pac Attack, Ms. Pac-Man No Exit, which is pretty cool. I could play that too. And then, you know, Pac-Man is all on here. It has other games as well. So you can play Eyes, Mr. TNT, Piranha. Those are all native to this board set. So Pengo's on here as well. So let me go back actually to Ms. Pac-Man Fast. You could play slow or fast. I'm gonna go fast. Okay. All right, here we go. Can you guys see that? I didn't even double check. I should have. I think you guys are good. I don't have a particular pattern. I'm just messing around now because I'm trying to look at the screen and play at the same time. But what's cool about this, I'll show you in a second. I'll do it in between boards. You can pause with this multi-kit. It's pretty neat. I can do it right now, actually. That's pause. Let's see. Let me just make sure that I'm all framed up. I think it's pretty good. Let me go a little tighter here. All right, that's good. Cool. And then you just press right to continue, or left actually, to continue. Pretty cool. Now, the reason it has that is because the board itself actually has pause built in. There's a jumper on there that you can ground, and when you do that, it pauses the game. Not many people know that, but it's true. All right, so 14,600, that's the maximum score you can get for the first board. So now I'm gonna go ahead and try doing the second one. I'll do my pattern that I usually do here. And of course it didn't work. So I have some close calls where you'll be like, whoa! But I believe you can only do it on this because I've tried this on a 16-1 and there is a slight lag that I can't explain that always kills me. Oh, I missed that. That's all right, I'll get it in 1 second. All right. So I want them to chase me around a little bit so they gather. I kind of just fool them. There we go. Quick disclaimer, I haven't played this in a while, so. But I should do all right. Joystick has a brand new grommet on it, and also has the restrictor that's, you know, the little plastic piece that's new also. So it's really sharp and turns where you want it. Now I'm getting into it, so we'll see. Let's see if I can get them all. Yep. So I'm just waiting for him to come down here now. I might have missed one. Let's see. No, I got him. All right, trying to get them all gathered. All right, so far 45,000, that's a perfect score. It's important you do that at the beginning. After this, I mean, you don't want to risk it sometimes, so you just don't get killed, but. Just trying to get all the hard areas here. Troublesome areas. Gonna get the. Yeah, I'm not gonna get them. See how they're changing too fast? So it's not worth risking your life just to get the points there. Here it's worth it. I can get them. But later on, you definitely cannot do that. Oh, they're all together. Nice. Oh, I didn't press up in time. See? I'm rusty. So they won't come out until you eat a lot of the dots. It's kind of a pain in the butt. So I'm trying to eat as much as I can before they come out. Yeah, now that one's going to come out and that's it. So you lose a lot of points. That was a really dumb move by dying there. Oh well. In-game modules, I'm reading that. IGMs. I think Bally Sente is like that. Or System 1 games like Marble Madness. Yeah, I only got one that time. Not good. I think I got them all. Yep. It's the worst when you're about to eat one and it turns. Later on, they don't even turn. They just go the opposite direction. TortureBot, I remember downloading way back when the shareware version of Doom off of a BBS and like playing online, you know, with the modem. It was crazy. We're like talking over the phone because there were no headsets at the time. We were way ahead of our time. We're like talking on a regular phone while we're playing Doom against each other. It was pretty fun. See if I can get him. I don't think I can, but we'll try. Oh, I was going for him and I wasn't looking there. Yeah, Doom shareware was just, I mean, not even just Wolfenstein was like, I remember playing that without a sound card, and then when you had the sound blaster on it, everybody was like, whoa, it talks? That's crazy. You know, and it was such a different game. And I bought a sound card just because of Wolfenstein. So I'm just tricking them just to cluster together here. I got them all here. And the banana. I don't think I have them. Let's see. Nope. Joystick kind of got a little bit stuck there. Cool. Dune 2 was a great game. I did that, and I did Warcraft and Warcraft 2. And Dune 2 was still one of my favorites. They actually have it for sale, I think, on Good Old Games, where you can actually buy it and play it again. Great game. Dune 2, The Battle of Arrakis, I think it was called. Now it's getting fast here. where they're changing quickly. I'm waiting for them to get together. I'm gonna go for it. At least 3. There we go. All right, 110,000. Oh, Steam has it? I didn't know that. That's cool. No, they're gonna change right now. I knew it. Okay, 114. Yeah, try it out. Dune 2, the fact that it talked when it goes affirmative, like when you're, it's kind of like Command and Conquer, but Command and Conquer was really a clone of Dune 2. You know, they basically invented the real-time strategy games. It's a whole new genre invented because of these guys. Yeah, I'm doing pretty bad right now, where everything's scattered. Whoa, that was close. That was even closer. Oh, and they finally got me. I liked, I never got into Warcraft 3 or World of Warcraft, but I did get into, I played Warcraft 2 and 1, and I prefer Warcraft 2 because you could right-click to command the units, and you couldn't do that in Warcraft, the first one. I'm pushing the limit a little bit, trying to get these ghosts. It's gonna end up killing me soon, but I'll just let it finish there. Not my highest game. Still need 100,000 to at least tie my score. And it's my last guy, so it's probably not gonna happen. Taking risks here. Is that a... Oh, I missed them. I can't believe it. All right, I can't remember when they stop changing, but it might be this board. Sometimes I test it just to see. Oh, and I died. Hey, Mikey Currington, what's going on? Oh, you didn't have to, man. So I'm just playing. You missed the beginning. It was a little boring. I was just fixing a cable, but I was just chatting and hanging out with the boys and gals. TortureBot, I used to put 2 Xboxes together with a crossover cable and have 2 CRT monitors opposite each other, and then you can play without cheating. You could play Halo on Xbox, and that was the best because when you played it on one screen, you could tell where the other person is, but when you played it like in the same room but facing opposite ways where you're not looking, it was way better. Wow. Diablo 2. I want to say my last LAN party. Well, it was online. A whole bunch of us at work used to get together and play Unreal Tournament, the original one, which I think is still the best one. So it was really fun playing online with other people. You know, the other ones, for whatever reason, they're just too, to me, it was a little too difficult. It felt like Quake. I wasn't a fan of Quake too much. But yeah, Unreal Tournament was a really, really good game. The original one, the Game of the Year edition. Oh wow, 45-person LAN party. That's crazy. Here, I'm gonna actually play another game here. I'm gonna play Ms. Pac-Man, but with no exit. So what this does is it takes away the fact you can go through the sides and all that stuff. It takes it away completely. So you can see there's no exits on the first board, and the other boards, they take them out as well. And it makes it really hard. You think it's easy, but you know, it's a total different game where you can't go through a side door to escape. And you can see here that the score is different. You see that? So my high in this one is 180,000, whereas in the other version, it was 230 or something like that. So my goal is to hit 250 on the regular fast Ms. Pac-Man. I'll try not to sneeze here. You can see the precision here, like where I was able to get the pellet and go back up. That's how, you know, I rebuilt the joystick. Actually, I'm gonna pause real fast because I need to just get a tissue here. Let me look here. Yeah, I suffer from allergies like it sucks all year round. And I take allergy medicine, but you know, obviously it's worn off because it's late. But okay, so now we're good. Now I can continue. So yeah, this 96-1 is pretty awesome. Yeah, see, I can't escape through the side like I normally do. Changes the game completely. I meant to go right up and down, and I hesitated and I died. I wonder if I should play Multi-Williams next. I changed all the buttons out on them. So I have all true leaf joysticks on those, and it's great, especially with Joust. So I might play Joust after and then hit the road at that point. Yeah, you know, I still have that Microsoft Arcade somewhere. I think it was 2 floppy disks actually, or was it 1? I might have had both of them. There was like a special version that had more games on it or something. Or part 2 or volume 2. I can't remember. It's probably volume 2. So this board has no exits, as you can see. So it's pretty funny. Oh, I just went through it. That's funny. Yep. Back in the day, I almost got to the kill screen in Pac-Man because I kept doing the same pattern over and over. But the thing was is that I couldn't die because there was some sort of lag going on with the computer I had was slow. So I was able to like know where to go and predict where they're not going, and I got really, really far. And then I think at that point, I think it was before I even knew about the kill screen, I just decided, I'm just gonna give up. And I didn't want to play anymore. I was kind of bored. This is hard with no exits, let me tell you. Go for it, yeah. You gotta man up and try to go for all the points. So I do have a big kit, by the way. I just have not installed it yet. So I have to figure out what to do with that. Most likely, like I said, I'm gonna put it in my Gap Plus. But not at first. I'm just gonna have it, and every now and then I'll put it in just to mess around. I knew it. See, there's no exit to get out of. Tough. Hey Dell, I've just now realized that with this overtime I've been working, hang on, I'm actually gonna pause it. Sometimes when you pause it does like, you know, pauses the screen, it's fine. I've just now realized that with this overtime I've been working, I should get that solder station you use. You couldn't remind me which station could you? Yeah, it's the, I believe it's the Hakko 888D. But you should know better, Mikey. There's always, every single video, I always put the same link, so it's in the description. So that's what I tell people. Just go there, I can't remember, but it's Hakko 888D soldering station, which is awesome. Once you get that, it'll make you an expert solderer, for sure. So... oh, I just died. Okay. So let me exit this and show you some other things on here that you can do. Let's see, other games. I want to have an actual stream with just Ms. Pac-Man in the future, so I don't really want to do too much here. But it does have games like Super Pac is pretty interesting because it's not Super Pac-Man, it is, but they basically shrink everything down. They have to shrink the screen in order to make the Super Pac-Man is really the big size Pac-Man, which is the normal one we know. But the patterns are a little different, but it's still basically the same game, same mazes, but you're smaller. And then when you turn to Super Pac-Man, you get big, that's when you're regular size. It's pretty cool. So let me see. This may reset because every now and then my switch gets loose underneath the test switch. Midway is notorious for that. So, I just died. I'm not used to playing it, to be honest, but it's the same. It's just kind of smaller, but it's the same game. It's just pretty cool how they just managed to do that. Even that bonus in the center, same thing. It has everything. So when you get the power pellet here, I'll show you. So you turn regular size, which is turning big, and you can hold it down too to go faster. You're in the game. You're allowed to go in, and you can't on this one, I don't think. Oh well. I'm trying to finish anyway. So it's a little different. The rules are slightly different. Yeah. So I just finished it. But yeah, it's Super Pac-Man. The whole gist of the game is very similar, but it behaves a lot different. So it's a whole entire new game here. But it's cool that somebody actually tried or attempted to make it. I knew it. Yeah, you know, I go inside the ghost spawn. That's how you get high score. You do that the first few without fail. You can get every single ghost every single time, and it works great. But my Super Pac-Man technically is down. It actually works. I have a board set that works, but I'm trying to like... that's on the back burner of stuff I got to do. But basically, I got to swap the board out. And before I swap it out, I want to really see and do a video of like, hey, let's see if we can fix it first, and then swap it out with the other board. And then the board that I take out that I do fix, I'm going to convert to Pac-Man and Chomp Chomp. I already soldered the socket in there, and I just have to burn the ROMs for that, and then we can swap it and play it. It'd be kind of cool. All right, so let me put this back to, I'll just put Miss Pack Attack on. Cool. All right, so let's switch over to Robotron or Joust or whatnot, and we'll end this stuff on here. Let's see if you guys can see that. I'm not really sure. Go a little closer here. All right, let's try that. Cool. So let's play a game of Robotron. I'm not that great, just warning you now. I'm okay. I don't practice enough is what it is. And I think what it is that, you know, I have these Dominic sticks that were great. They're awesome. But I played the real deal, and now I want the real sticks, so I hardly play this anymore. But I did change out the leaf sticks, so I'm on my way. I'm sorry, the leaf buttons. And eventually, you know, I'm going to switch out the joysticks for the real Wycos. Yeah, see, I just let myself get trapped there. Usually it takes a couple games to warm up. Ooh, there's a lot of cluster of people here. This will get me some free guys. Game over. Let's try one more time. This is the kind of game you gotta go, well, let me just try one more time. And then before you know it, it's 3 hours later. Get this last guy. Let's shoot. Oh, I almost got out of it. No, too many missiles. I'm like risking my life trying to get these guys. Oh man, I was on a roll, but these guys, this is the worst. I hate this board. I I hate these guys. There's bouncy things. I can never get a hold on how to kill them. I usually lose 2 guys on this on that board. Not good. Oh, I did not do that. Come on. Yeah, I'm pretty much dead. Yep. All right, cool. So I'm gonna exit this, and I wanted to play a game of Joust. Because these buttons are, oh, they're great. What? By the way, for the first time since I installed these, I actually killed the pterodactyl. I'd never killed him before. I've killed him in like Atari 2600, but never on the real game. It's pretty cool. He like kind of turns like ashy and then fades away. It's pretty neat. It's like this whole animation. I need to get that. There we go. But yeah, these leaf buttons, oh, they're great. You can react so quickly. I had hybrids in there before by Groovy Game Gear. They were called Classic or Class X buttons, where you can put a leaf on there. So they were leaves, but the spring on them it wasn't the same. This one is way better now. You can even hear it. Feels good. You hit them hard, they make that sound. Oh, give me a break. Let's try to kill it. Nope. Oh man, that was not good. This is great with 2 people, because you get to like try to kill each other and stuff. Oh, I had you, come on. Oh, that game is over. What did I do with the phone? I put it somewhere. Ah, here it is. Smash TV, that's another stream I gotta do because I upgraded the chips. I now have the Pleasure Dome on it, which I did not have before. Command the Line, what's up? Yeah, the Hako desoldering gun version, that's the one I have. I can't complain, it was free. Hako actually sponsored it and gave it to me. So eventually, what I had planned to do is I was going to review it and then they give it to me, but then I wanted to really have it for a while to see the longest, like how long it would last. And it did break actually, where I had to repair it with 4 screws. 4 screws kind of just fell out of it. So I'll notate that in my review and stuff, but I do plan to do it. I'm probably going to do it once I get this new camera. Yeah, that's the one where you use the foot pedal, right, TortureBot? I'm actually gonna get out of this game. What should I play? Bubbles, Blaster. Yeah, let's play Bubbles. Oh, I did not touch you. Come on. He's nice and fat. Look at that. Come on. Every game has a warm-up game. Nice. That was a good board. I scored a lot. So if you want to see how to play the game, I did a whole stream on it. Where I went through everything you got to do to beat the game, and it's a lot of fun. There's little rules you got to know here and there. And you'll see stuff will turn green that allows you to go through. I was facing the wrong way. I'm trapped. Yep, I'll play again. Come on. Oh man, I didn't even see that. So I would love to play this with a 49-way joystick. I think that's the original, I think. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, I thought I finished. I was trying to do that, and it killed me. Oh, come on. Just gonna exit. Too many blades. Oh, they didn't give me one? Are you crazy? I'm dead. Oh, they didn't give me one again. And again. Unbelievable. They usually give you like a little fork so you can kill them. But they gave me none there. They were just being really mean. Now here's a game that I just love playing over and over, by the way. It's just so fun. Because you're like, I can do better. See, they gave me the fork this time, or the broom, or whatever you want to call it. I was too small. So I died. I'm gonna score big here. If you get near it too, it gives you like 2 times the points. It's pretty cool. So I think what I may do in the future, maybe I'll have my other half help me out, where she can read the chat and then I can like answer it, because sometimes I'm playing and I can't read the chat. And I'm not going to do that thing where like it reads back to what you're saying and all that stuff. Because, you know, people clown around with that. No, they didn't give me anything. I'm going to escape if I can. Nope. I died. Oh. Nope. I'm out of here. They keep not giving me the broom. So it's random, but it's a little too random when you keep not getting it. Like that. It's like they want me to die here. And there's no way I can survive without that broom. Give me that broom. Oh, I didn't see him over it. Of course. Whew, I barely squeaked out of that one. I knew it. Not bad, not bad. I'll put my name in here. $86,000. So my high is 143,000. Cool. Mike, you're like, I'm a nurse. I work for a living. Yeah, you know, I'm considered essential personnel, even though I'm not in the medical field. I'm actually television broadcasting. So, yeah, we're essential too, because what do you do at home? If you're quarantined, people watch TV, right? Yeah, that's exactly what we're here for. And that includes streaming. So, yeah, we're totally essential as well. So I've been working since this whole thing. I haven't had vacation like a lot of people, you know, working from home. I wish I could work from home, but I can't because the equipment I use is like, you know, millions of dollars worth of equipment. So. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you know, there are people that work, that are essential workers where I work at, you know, who work with all the commercials and they schedule stuff and all the schedulers. They all work from home, but they're very essential. You know, we need them. But for me, I work pretty much, we're the last defense before it goes to air. We do live shows. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. Little stressful. It's like people are like, oh, you watch TV for a living? Not exactly. We have just, it's kind of like watching TV for a living, but then at the same time you have about 10 hours of heart attack thrown in. And you could earn your salary in one day sometimes with the stuff we catch or we fix or like, you know, close calls and all that stuff. And people at home have no idea. So. Unsung heroes, and that's how the medical field is too, so. Oh, that's cool. So, let me go ahead and move, let me see if I can move my camera over here. I'm going to start shutting it down. So I'm basically, oh, you know what? I didn't play Crystal Castles. I'll wait. But that's the Crystal Castles, guys, by the way. I got to move it. It's temporarily there. It's going to go next to its sister, Millipede. So I'm just trying to get this locked in place here. And then I will see if I can turn this on here. Get back to this, yeah. That way I can talk and be productive at the same time. So I think Rob Harker was asking me what I use. This is Fillmore wire, it looks like. It's, I'm trying to think, it's 100 feet, it's 22 gauge stranded wire. So any 22 gauge stranded wire is what you want. You can get different colors. I got a whole spool. I think I got this on, I want to say I got this on Amazon. I just can't remember. But it's really good stuff. Lasts forever. I used to get these here from eBay. This is, I don't know, just, it was like $20, but it was actually a good value. For $20, you got like, all these were totally full with stuff inside. And then you can, I liked it because it had like a little thing here where you can just wrap it and just, you know, pull it through as much as you need. But I found I used this so often that it would finish very quickly. So I decided to get bigger ones here. But this is a good starter pack. It's like 20 bucks. You know, you can see here where I pulled everything through. That one's there. This is white and it has all the colors. So it's kind of cool. I think I ran out of yellow, so I put an extra black one in there. But yellow finished pretty quick. You know, stuff like for like, you know, I use it for like voltage, like plus 12. This is plus 5. This is ground. I have a whole spool of this in black, of course. But yeah, it's pretty neat. It's good to have. I'm really glad I built this. Like, I'm looking at the quality of them. They look like almost like they're a little more beefier than the ones that were in there. So this should last a while. And then what I have to do also is that, I'll show you actually. There's this here, and then my JAMA harnesses, they all come with this cheap, let me grab my key. JAMA harnesses come with this cheap connector on it that doesn't fit a standard monitor, so you have to actually fix it. So I've been meaning to go ahead and crimp those. I have 3 of them actually. I should have bought more. And I'm gearing up. You know, everybody's doing the Neo Geo reviews with that unit. That's 500 bucks. I have Harman's Customs that I've had for a while, and I'm going to assemble it probably on a live feed, where I'm just going to go ahead and unbox it on a live feed and then kind of film the rest of the episode. And it's going to be better than the one that's 500 bucks because it's going to have a real Neo Geo in it, single slot. So I'm just waiting for a few more boxes to come in, and I have all my cartridges, and it's going to be running real stuff. So these are the JAMA harnesses that I use. I got these on eBay. I like them because they're labeled, but it has everything on there, parts side, solder side, and it has everything on there. And these are pretty decent because they have -5 in there. A lot of them, the cheap Chinese ones, which this is still cheap Chinese stuff, but these have -5 on them. And a lot of times they don't have -5. So I will zoom in so you guys can see that. Let me just turn this so I can see. There we go. All right, so these, you can see here, they have, if you see right there, it says -5. So +5, -5, +12, it has everything. The cheaper ones don't even have -5, but sometimes you need that for like audio, like a Smash TV, for example. Is it Smash TV or Total Carnage? Total Carnage doesn't require -5, but Smash TV does for the amp, for the audio board. So, you know, when I actually had a JAMA switcher, which didn't have -5 on it, it wouldn't work. The audio was all messed up on Smash TV, and then I realized, oh, -5 wasn't connected, and I connected it, and then it worked. So these connectors here for the video, let me see if I can find one on here. Yeah, here's a video one. These don't fit. Can you see that? Yeah, these don't fit on a typical monitor. You know, these are made for like Weya monitors, which are like the cheaper ones. So they're skinnier, they don't fit over the pins. So what you end up doing is cutting them and then re-crimping them onto these. These are actually ones that I got just for that purpose. So instead, what I did is I found these for $2 and they have everything on them. And then what I was gonna do is just wire wrap. Like I don't think I'm gonna do it today, but all I have to do is cut this off here and then put these on here because they all have ends on them. And then just solder them together and then put the shrink tubing over them and then have the connector replaced. So I wanted to replace all these connectors that were smaller with the bigger one that's proper before I install these JAMA harnesses, because I got to install these on a couple systems. I should have done this today actually, because I need to bring this with me tomorrow because I'm replacing a JAMA harness on the guy and I know this is not going to fit in the monitor for sure. So I gotta see. It depends what he has, because if he has two separate ones, I'm gonna need to do them separately like this. So I may end up crimping them anyway. Wonder if I should I do that now? Well, the problem is that these are so thin. That's the problem. I think that's the issue I had last time, is that they're so freaking thin that it sucked chopping them up. But I wonder if this will work. I'm curious if I can actually take them out and put them in the new one. Maybe. I'm looking now to see if it'll come out. See, I don't know where the pin is. That's the problem. Put it that way. I'd have to crack it open to see it. All right, so that crimps on the top. So I think they'd be over here actually on the side, this side. I'm actually doing this off camera, I apologize. It's because I'm zoomed in too much. Hey, Mikey, that's awesome that your son asked for that. My son built one of those little, what the heck is it called? It's like those little Pi cades that has a Pi Zero in them. I got them for Christmas and he loved it. He assembled it and, you know, we programmed it together with the RetroPie on it. And it doesn't run, like it overheats a lot because it doesn't have any heat sinks and it's in this little case, but you know, it works fine for him. I did buy a portable unit that I think I want to review on my own just to show people. Yeah, I can't figure this how to get this out. So unless it's in here, I don't know. I'll probably end up, oh wait, there we go. Oh, so you do it through the front. It's like right here, this little key. Wow, this actually worked. I can't believe it. I think it's right. I think you slipped like the screwdriver right in there. Yeah, then it comes right out. Look at that. Wow, I just learned something today. There's that one. Then there's that one. And this one looks like it's the opposite way. Yeah, look at that. I managed to take it out with this tool. So I wonder if I can, I'm gonna try. I wonder if I can use those in the new holders here. So, and then set, see, I'd rather have them be separate than together. And see, I don't have any with just 4 on them. It's always something. Anyway, let me try putting it on one of these with 4. Curious. So it would go in this way. I'm just looking at my TPG what it would be. It goes in right there, so red would go right there on this side, so red goes right there. Let's see if this works. Red. Huh. It fit. Look at that. So this one is yeah, this isn't gonna fit. It slides in and out, even though I'm bending the pin up, it's still going nope. Well, maybe, let's see. Maybe I had it upside down. This one looks like a little crushed, but I use my metal pick tool again. All right, let's see. Yeah, see, it goes right through. It doesn't catch. Why is this not working? Yeah, I'm better off just putting new connectors in there. The problem is that these wires, I've cut them before, they're super, super thin, man. So these are already on there perfectly. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that where, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'll just shrink tube them. I'll cut them and then shrink tube them over and solder them on. I'm just not gonna do that tonight. It'll take too long. But good to know that I can get this out with this tool. It's finally useful for something. Cool. You're a slight Star Trek fan? Torchabot, you gotta watch Discovery, Star Trek Discovery. I just started watching it, I don't know, a few months ago when this COVID started, and I am almost done with season 2, and it's amazing. Feels like a real movie, you know, each episode. They just do a really good job. Oops, this is my Rolling Thunder key, which I have to... It's funny, Command the Line, because like, it's funny, you're trying to get around the filter, because I have like a swear filter on here, so I have to keep approving your messages. I'll show it, it's not a big deal. Because you put the number 1 in there, so it gets flagged. It's pretty neat how it sees everything. The original series I'm not a fan of, actually. It's kind of funny. And I think I'm paying for it right now because Star Trek Discovery actually happens before the original series. That's when it's the time period it's in. but it's really weird. It's all teched out and it's, you know, it's high tech. Yeah, Torture Bot. It's the, I can't remember her name. She was a chick. She was a really good. Like she had a brother that got killed. I guess he was this big big dude, and then she ended up taking the pill, or a cyanide pill, and killing herself in the coffin just to try to assassinate that guy, and it ended up failing. She's that chick. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny, that chick in that Walking Dead and also in this show as a lead. My, let's see, my significant other's really good friend. You know, he does movies and directs and all that stuff, and you know, he does independent stuff. He has like a normal job, but he knows a lot of people in the industry, and she's one of the people he knows. And she showed me a picture. She goes, "Hey, look what we dug up the other day," and it was him with her, you know, smiling and stuff. They worked on something together prior to her, you know, making it big. He's also friends with what's the guy from X-Men? The guy that flies around. He's going to become the new Captain America. I can't remember his name, but yeah, he's friends with him too. Yeah, Deep Space Nine was good. I have to admit, I never finished that series. The reason I liked it is because it was kind of a spin-off of Star Trek, not Discovery, but Voyager. Voyager is my favorite series altogether. Like, I like The Next Generation, but Voyager is my favorite Star Trek right now. It's pretty cool. I'm yawning here because I'm tired. It's almost like 3:53 a.m. on the East Coast, but I'm just celebrating because I had no work tomorrow. It's awesome. And Arya's my daughter. She's actually going to daycare tomorrow. She loves it. It's like her preschool. She'll be in kindergarten soon, and she's just loving life. She's awesome. We named her after Game of Thrones, if you're curious. But we spell it differently. Game of Thrones is another one that was awesome. Wow, that's cool. Mikey, one of my friends is, her brother actually worked on the Star Trek what am I saying? Voyager set, where he was part of the special effects and all that stuff, and you know, where they shook everything and everybody moved and, like, you know, slid the doors. Like, he did all that stuff, and she would tell me that she actually got to tour on the studio and stuff, and it was pretty cool. Yeah, Game of Thrones is great. They're actually working on a prequel, I think, for the Dragon People or whatever. Yeah, if you guys ever Google, what the heck's his name? Emergency Awesome, it's called. He does a lot of cool, I used to be religiously watching that guy. You know, he'd do a lot of Game of Thrones, like, okay, let's see what happened, and then they talk about the preview, and he'd have a lot of inside info, and he would kind of really super analyze everything. He's really smart, but he does a lot of other series too. Like he's really good at doing Mandalorian, by the way, which is coming, and I love Mandalorian. I love Star Wars in general. It's usually people are either Star Trek or Star Wars, but I'm both, which is kind of rare. So, I don't know why this isn't coming through. Wait, actually, let me look at my feed. Yeah, I'm looking at the live chat. Like, I'm trying to do some animations here, and I don't see... Usually the chat box is active, and it's not. So I don't know why. Try turning it on again, see what happens. Yeah, usually you're supposed to see the chat in the video here. I'm just looking at my computer here and it looks like it's wrong. Oh, there we go. Whoa, it's blasting by like a couple hours worth of stuff. There we go, now it caught up. You guys can slow it down if you want to read for those who are watching it again, but that's crazy, that's funny. Yeah, I wonder why it does that. And then the alert box, same thing. It's supposed to do an animation when you get a super chat, and I got 2 of them. And then my end page, let me see if my subscribe thing works here. Yep, that worked. Subscribe to my channel, it's awesome. Twitter, same thing. If you guys have followed me on Twitter, I have all kinds of stuff going on with Twitter. Instagram. Yep, that's working too. And of course my end page, which I'm going to be putting up shortly. So just to give you guys a heads up on what I'm working on, the Rolling Thunder, I was going to work on this spring, but just time got away from me with work and everything. So I decided to keep that because it's working great, looks nice, but it still needs the side art redone and the bottom and stuff. And so I'm going to end up doing that probably next year in the spring in 2021. Because it's, you know, it's already starting to get cold out, and I still have a few things I want to finish up with these other games first. And that one, you know, it's been fine on the lineup, looks great. But, you know, I really want to give it the full restoration. But I think I'm going to finish up Millipede because I need to do the control panel. I have the overlay on that. I also have the overlay for Crystal Castles. I want to do both of them at the same time. Maybe one episode because they're very similar. But I have some tips for rebuilding the trackball that I want to show you guys, where you spin it in a drill. You actually put 3-in-1 in there. You clean out the bearings, because if you get them from factory, like the ones in my Millipede, actually I'll go to it now so you can see something while I'm talking here. Let me see if I can grab this off the tripod. There we go. So this Millipede right here, let me turn on the light. Of course, I don't have any battery on it, so I'll have to turn this here. There we go. So can you see the Millipede, how it has like, I actually put tape on it. You can't see it when it's night, but I just didn't want it ripping it more temporarily. So I put that on there just to keep it okay. And then you can see it's tearing here when you're using the game. Sometimes when you roll it too hard, it'll mess up. But anyway, this is a rebuilt trackball. It's nice and smooth and everything, but it still doesn't roll like I want it to, like where you go like that and it rolls for a while. So somebody suggested, I said, hey, I don't understand it. I bought this from Arcade Shop. It's just not as good as I want it to be. I felt real trackballs on Millipedes, they feel much better than this one. And they said, well, you got to break them in. I said, what are you talking about? They said, well, when things sit around in a warehouse for a while, they're lubed up from the factory, but it's going to be kind of cakey. Is that a word? Cake? It kind of cakes up, cakey. It cakes up a little bit, and then they're not as good. So they recommend on the forums, I was talking to people on Clav, where they said you got to spray it like with brake cleaner to get all that stuff out of there, clean them up really good, and then you spray them with 3-in-1, and then stick them in a drill with like, or a Dremel is fine, and then you just hold it and then basically just turn it, you know, for like 2 minutes, and that breaks it in. And then you put it in there. Well, after you do that, you got to clean it out again, get all the metal particles out, and then lube them up one last time, and then they're broken in. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to try it with this here. My Crystal Castles, this is a lot smoother. My Crystal Castles works, but it's just a lot bumpier for that control panel. But I definitely have to do this one. You can see it's all like lifting right there. See where my hand is? And you know, this was lifting here, so I decided to tape it for now. But I do have that. It was laying flat. I have that on top of a machine. Then I have the crystal castles somewhere laying flat. And then of course, let me just disconnect my power here so I can walk around. There we go. This crystal castle's here. You can see, I'll go through it, you know, in an episode. You'll see more of it, but you see how it's torn down there. It's torn like right there. So, you know, I'm just going to replace them. Everything else is in great shape, in almost perfect shape, actually. So, you know, I'm not going to worry about, you know, redoing all that stuff. So that's it. But yeah, this one is just a little rough. You can even hear it. It works fine, just a little rough. So I'm going to replace the bearings on that, rebuild it. But this time I'm going to try something different where I break it in before I put it in. So we'll see. It'll be a cool episode to see. Yeah, but you know, there's crap all over the place. So, you know, I've just been really busy with stuff, but it's going to go right next to this machine right here, which is, of course, my millipede, which I love, you know. But this one looks great, so I'm just going to leave it for now. Totally rebuilt, looks beautiful, but the only thing is just the side art. You can see just a little torn up there. And also on the bottom, you know, well, you guys already know, you saw the restoration on that, so. But that's it, so I guess I'm going to end this, man, because it's getting late. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back on my tripod, on my workstation. That's usually what I do when I film. And let me plug the charger back in, that way it can charge. And so that's it. Any more last questions before I go? Yeah, it's kind of early, but whatever. It's late for me, but it's early. Just trying to think question-wise. Maybe I'll do a video. Maybe I'll do a video one of these days where, like, I'll just walk through what I'm working on. You know, because you guys had a lot of questions that I'm sure other people have, like about Gap Plus. Hey, what's going to go on with the wiring with that? So I'll just kind of just do a walkthrough saying, hey, look, I'm working on this. This is coming soon. There's a Zookeeper in here now. There's the Crystal Castles in here now. Those are coming soon too. So, you know, I couldn't believe I got the Crystal Castles and the Zookeeper in the same day. Those are like two of my personal grails. I've always wanted a Crystal Castles because it looks cool. It's a great game. I'm pretty good at it. And Zookeeper, same thing. You know, I was going to build one, but now this one still needs a lot of work. But it's pretty much halfway there. So yeah, so anyway, that's it. Thanks for the stream. Thanks for hanging out. Next time I'll have something a little more organized. This was just more like, hey, I was just catching up on some wiring. But my next stream, most likely, if I do it tomorrow, actually, we'll see. I'm probably going to just be taking monitor parts that I have here and there and piecing them together and seeing if they work. And then if they work, then I'm going to cap it and then we'll put it back together and work it. Because I did wash a monitor a couple days ago. I picked one up for pretty cheap. It was 30 bucks and it worked. Well, the guy said it worked. So what I wanted to do is I washed it already because it was filthy. I wanted to put it back together on a live stream, test that it works, and then after we test it, take it apart again and just cap it and then put it back together and dial it in. And then if we really think it's really bad, do a tube swap because I have tons of those monitors. It's a K7000 and those have a few donor tubes for those and make it burn free and then we'll have a brand new monitor for 30 bucks. So yeah, it should be fun. And then of course the Neo Geo I got to do pretty quickly actually too. There's just so much to do. But the Neo Geo I have to do because the other one's so popular, I really want to jump on the bandwagon and get that done, but kind of play off of it and say, look, this isn't the one that everybody's reviewing. It's actually an original one that's even better. So that should be cool too. Yep, monitor work is always fun. I used to be afraid of them and be like, this sucks. I'm not going to do anything with them, but it's pretty cool and fun to do now. I prefer working on those than PCBs actually. Oh man, 32-inch CRT. Yeah, those things are like 500 pounds. Especially if you have like a Sony like Vega. Those are like freaking beasts. I actually thought about getting rid of one of my PVMs. I don't know. I have like a 20, what I think is a 21 or 22 inch PVM. And I also have the, you know, smaller 13-inch one. And I don't need them both. I only use one of them actually. So I need to make room because behind me on my desk where I'm, you know, typing on the computer now, I want to do streams from my desk where you guys can see me. And then, you know, have my stuff behind me. So, yep. So I'll mess around with that. Hey, thanks, man, Wild Geese. I'll do a walkthrough. Once I get everything situated, I actually got rid of a game, Super Pac-Man, but I had two of them. So I still have my Super Pac-Man, but I don't. And it went to Jeff Kinder. I don't know if you guys know, I did a tour on him. He has 80, no, I want to say 80 something games or something like that. So I did an arcade tour at his house, and he was restoring a Super Pac-Man that was pretty trashed. And I said, hey, I have one you can have for free. You know, I got it for free years ago. I planned to restore it, ended up getting another one, which was half the cost. And then it just sat there and I needed the room. So I gave it to him, made some room. The reactor came in now, the reactor project, which is almost a project. It's almost done, actually. You'll see when you guys see it. I'll do a video on that. So I think the next low-hanging fruit right now for the channel is probably going to be me doing a walkthrough of my arcade, saying, hey guys, check this out. This is what I'm working on right now, and I'll show you guys the reactor. I'll show you the crystal castles. I'll show you the zookeeper, and I'll say stay tuned for those pickup videos, which I'm still working on. You know, Gapless is about 60% done when it comes to the video, and the pickup video for Crystal Castles and this other one is about 80% done. I'll probably release one on Friday for the washing of the monitor. That's another one that I did really quick because, you know, it was a, you know, like my friend says, it's low-hanging fruit. You just grab it and you go with it. So it's a lot of cool stuff. I love to repair stuff. You know, I don't do it for money. You guys know that already. I do it for fun, but I also have a real job, so. Torchabot, go ahead. You said ask you a question. What's your question? Yeah, funny, Mikey. Yeah, I do use the Arcanine cocktail as a workbench. I actually have a real workbench next to it, but there's always crap on top of it. And plus, I can't film when I'm on the other one because the camera does not fit in front of it. So I have to get some sort of mount if I do that. And, you know, everything costs money, so I'll figure it out over time. How tough is it to get an original DK to display on a regular monitor? That's the two-part question because, first of all, let's just make sure, let's say it's a K7000, which is a regular monitor. You're going to have to, because Nintendo inverts their signal, you need a 20EZ, which is a Sanyo, which has the inverter board on it. So you actually have to get some sort of converter or something. I can't remember exactly what it is, but you have to basically invert the signal on the board somehow in order to get it to work on a regular monitor. So that's basically what you need to do. It doesn't have to do with negative sync. I think it's just you're thinking the inverse. So basically, you know how you take a photograph and you have negatives? Basically, Donkey Kong displays stuff as negatives, and then the monitor inverts the colors so that it can display properly. So usually the 20EZs by Sanyo do that. It has it built in, has the inverter board on the actual monitor. So when you switch it to a normal monitor, you're going to have to somehow get that inverter board in between so that it knows and switches it to a normal signal. I don't know exactly what to do, but just Google exactly what you're telling me. You know, just write inverter board somewhere, inverted signal or something like that, and you'll find your answer. There's tons of info on that everywhere. Yeah, you can use a standard res monitor for sure on a Donkey Kong. You just have to eliminate that signal that's inverted somehow. And I'm not sure if you need to add something or take away something. I can't remember what you have to do. If you modify the board, or if you, you know, put a some sort of converter in there. I can't remember. And that's on any Nintendo. So any Nintendo with a Sanyo has an inverter signal on it. So like, I want to say, actually, you know what? You might be able to do it with a JAMA adapter, because let me think now. My Versus, my unit system, I have a Versus board. I ran it on a regular monitor and it looks fine, but I have a JAMA connector on it to convert the board into JAMA, and I think that JAMA harness or that JAMA adapter has the inverter built in. So if you go JAMA, you can definitely do it. But I don't know if you're trying to just get a new monitor to replace a genuine Donkey Kong. If that's the case, you don't want to change it over to JAMA, you want to just get that inverter somehow. Yeah, so that's what it sounds like. You have an original cabinet board, but no monitor. Yeah, so you can get a regular standard monitor. If you want to get like a CRT tube, that's a possibility too, where you can buy one of those, I think it's Gonbis or Gonba, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a converter board that they sell on eBay for like 20 bucks. And it has a VGA connector. It's basically to connect something to an LCD. Instead, you just take a CRT tube, like a, you know, like a regular computer monitor that's a 19-inch, and decase it, and then put that in the Donkey Kong, and it'll look legit. And then you just put that converter board on it, and then you're set. So that's an option too. Might be easier to find a computer monitor, a 19-inch especially, tube, rather than a, you definitely don't want to use an LCD if you can help it, but you know, that might get you by until you can find a real monitor. Because arcade monitors are very slim now. Slim pickings. I grab them all the time. I'm constantly looking. Even if I don't need it, I just put it in inventory somewhere. Yep, you could probably use it. It's definitely possible. I just don't know the answer to that. You have to Google it. I'm just gonna quickly do it here. Let's see. Inverting Nintendo signal. That's what I'm gonna put as my search term. Yeah, it says right here, it's like my second hit. It says, can the video signal of all Nintendo games be indeed inverted? It says, and it's on the clav. Oh, you also need an audio amp. It says, I forgot that the 20EZ has an audio amp on it too. Looks like Mike's Arcade has it. They're saying they have an amp inverter board. It's an all-in-one that you plug into it. So yeah, you need a converter. So let's see, I'm gonna go to Mike's Arcade. And I'm also gonna go to, I'm just typing in inverter. Nintendo JAMA. Okay, it's 45 bucks. It's called Mike's Color Inverter and Sound Amp Board. It's $45. I'll send a link right here, right now. And it says, use a standard monitor with your Nintendo board. This little board has built-in sound amp and video color inversion. Nintendo monitor and sound connectors allow you to plug your existing cables directly into the board. It requires 12 volts to run. So you're gonna have to just find 12 volts somewhere on your power supply and just kind of splice into that. May be used as a standalone sound amp or a standalone video inverter. Oh, look, it even says here, now offering a cable to power directly from the 7P SOU connector on your Nintendo PP7B power supply. So you didn't even need to splice anything. So here it is. I'll post it right here. Paste. Bam, there's your link. It's cool. It has a manual too. That's what's great about Mike's Arcade. So you can download the installation instructions and check it out and see exactly what it entails. But it looks pretty simple. It looks like you plug and play. Yeah, and it probably has everything you need, cable-wise. So you won't have to like splice anything like it said. Very cool. So, of 22. I'm just actually answering Rob here. He asked me about what wire I use. So I'm using any spool of 22 gauge stranded wire will work. Okay, cool. Yeah, this looks cool. It's good to know. So now I know. I knew there was something you had to put in there. But with me, my cabinet is wired JAMA. I just have the JAMA, and I actually got it from Mike's Arcade as well. Mine is the JAMA adapter that has everything on there to convert it. So, what is this here? What? Oh, that's funny. That's cool. Nice. Imagine DK on a 32-inch. Actually, a Megamark, they do have a, I believe it was, I want to say double Donkey Kong, where it has like, it was like a licensed thing by Namco, and they did weird stuff. Like they have like the 25th year reunion or whatever, you know, the 20th reunion for like Ms. Pac and Galaga, which actually has a 25-inch monitor in there instead of the standard 19. And I believe the double Donkey Kong has a 25-inch monitor in there too. So it's one of those gargantuan ones you'd see like on a Neo Geo, like turn sideways and put in there. Yep. Then there's also 14-inch monitors, which are really 13-inch monitors, but they're not 14-inch technically, like 14 centimeters. It goes by what they go by in Japan or something. So there's like Japanese measurements and then US measurements. So that's the difference between the two. Yeah. They messed up with the wiring, JAMA harness in it with an adapter to connect to the original DK board edge connectors, video inverter for an old LCD was in it. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, bring that thing back to life. That's what you can do. You know, I haven't, but I have a friend who used to work at Shea Stadium before they knocked it down, you know, which is Citi Field where the Mets play, because I live in Queens. And she told me like they have that big screen there that they've actually plugged in video games on that thing when nobody's in the park. I think that's pretty badass. So it's like this humongous screen. Yeah. You know what I was thinking of doing too, maybe because of COVID, I was thinking of maybe putting something on Twitter or maybe asking on YouTube to maybe have people film their arcade or their games or whatever it is, and then I kind of feature them, you know, saying, hey, you know, here's some video from so-and-so, and I'll show their video for like, you know, 20 seconds or so, and then show another person for another 20 seconds, just to get people to show off their arcades who don't have YouTube channels that would like their, you know, they'd like to share their arcade with people or whatever. So many ideas. Yep. I'm going to throw this thing in again. So you guys already know about my Twitter, but this is it here in case you forgot. Cool. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is I am going to end this chat. I actually let it go a little longer because I knew you guys were chatting with each other. So I wanted to make sure, you know, that you're good. I'm like catching up with chat here. Projection screens. It goes from arcades to projection screens. And 3080 cards. Yeah, I'm keeping my eye on them. I would totally get a 3090 card. I think so. It's a good investment for the channel. I'd have to hold off on the camera for a little bit, but I would totally get that for processing power. I'd be cranking out the videos at that point. Oh, they have the brace kit on there? That's cool. Forget about the 3090? Well, you have to remember, I'm not gaming. They say, oh, you can game in 8K, and it's not really a game PC. Yeah, gaming card, but yeah, that's exactly what I want. I want it to be a workhorse for CAD, for 3D rendering, for After Effects, all that good stuff. Yeah, well, I was actually going to get the 3070 because right now I'm running a 1060, and it does pretty good. It does the rendering and everything, but now that I'm thinking of upgrading to 4K, I'm kind of pushing the limits on it. Where if I do stuff, sometimes my computer's so fast that it bottlenecks. I'm running a Ryzen 7 right now, and it bottlenecks with the card. So, you know, my computer's literally sitting there waiting for it to finish doing what it's doing, and then it catches up. But, yeah, I don't want a gaming card, Brian. So 3090 is going to help me render. It renders a lot faster. Like if I'm in After Effects or whatever, or CAD, it'll let you, it just has more beefy processing power so that it, you know, it really does make a difference when you're rendering and stuff, and that's what I do, so. Yeah. I mean, I was gonna wait it out and see because Big Navi's coming too, and they're saying Big Navi's gonna be running at 2.4 gigahertz, which is like, you know, double that of the 3080. So eventually Big Navi's gonna catch up. It's the same thing with Ryzen. You know, they did the chiplets, and Intel laughed at them and said, oh, what are you using chiplets? That's not going to do anything. And now they have multi-cores, and Intel still is like, well, we're the fastest single core. We're great for gaming. But now AMD is basically making it all their cores really fast, and it's just going to blow Intel out of the water. It already is. So they're doing the same thing with Big Navi to NVIDIA, because NVIDIA, they have a threshold that they can do before it heats up. But with Big Navi, they're saying they're using like that same chiplet kind of design or something I was reading. And it's going to be at 2.4 gigahertz. So it's going to be faster and better. And over time, by next year or the year after, it's going to be way better than NVIDIA, unless NVIDIA could come up with something new too. Yeah, I agree, Omega Mark. 3080 is probably what I'm going to do, but if it's not available and there's a 3090 for sale, I'm just going to pop on it. I'll take a 3090 over a 3080 if it's not available. But honestly, what I really should do is I should wait to see what happens on the 29th. I think it's the 29th, the 28th or 29th when the big Navi stuff is coming out or announced. So my plan actually was to get a 3070 because the 3070 supposedly is twice as fast as the 2080, and I have a 1060. So even with that $500 card, my system would not bottleneck anymore. And then if I needed it down the line, then I can upgrade to, you know, the 3080 Ti or whatever it is that they have. That's the latest one. That then I would invest my money and do it. But for now, I just spend the $5. Yeah, I heard about that. I did hear about that 20 gig version. Did you guys hear about somebody took a, because the 3090 has more RAM, VRAM or whatever, they actually made a solid state hard drive with virtual RAM on it. So they basically made it an SSD. So somebody was able to actually write a program that made it half of the RAM SSD and half of the RAM the video card, and they actually ran a game on itself. So it was pretty funny. Yeah, I could do that, but the problem is, you know, just like Jay's 2 cents, I watch that guy all the time. He basically says, you know, you really shouldn't, you know, you could spend the money and then kick yourself in the ass later, like, oh, why did I spend this money? But it's really what you need now. And if it can pay for itself, then just get it now, you know? So, because you're going to be constantly waiting if you wait forever. Oh, just wait till next year. This is coming out. That's always the case. So your computer is really valuable to what you value it at now versus, like, you know, waiting for the future. If it's good now and it works now and it does what you want now, then it's the perfect computer. So for me, it's bottlenecking, so I just need to get past that hump. So if I spend the $500 on the 3070, it's going to get past that hump. But like I said, you know, you can't get any of them now. So, you know, I'm willing to invest the money, you know, because I can do a lot more than just, you know, because I edit and stuff, but then I can also, you know, for the channel, but then I can also edit, you know, I could pay for it in one session of normal editing for TV or whatever. So yeah, I'm not gonna pay past retail. There's no way. There's a guy at work, he actually bought, like, I want to say last month, right before the announcement of this whole thing, he bought a 2080 Ti and a Ryzen 9, and he upgraded. He had a Ryzen 7, upgraded to the 9, and then he had a, I want to say he had a 2080, no, what's the one below that? 2070, and then he upgraded. He's like, screw it, he came into work, he's like, I just spent $1,200, I got the card. And then, like, you know, I don't know, 30 days later, they announced the 3080. That would be, no, 3070. It would be twice as fast as the one he just bought for $500. So he was depressed for a little bit. Yep, I could do that. Omega Mark. Yep, I did that already when I first got this computer. Actually, the first upgrade I had, I upgraded, did I upgrade this year? I'm trying to think if I did. April. No, I upgraded, I don't remember now if it was this year or last year. Might have been last year. But I upgraded, originally I had an 1800, Ryzen 7 1800 Plus or whatever it was, I forgot, or 1800X I think it was. And that thing screamed. It was like so fast. And I was running that with older cards and it ran fine. And then the 3070? No, 3700 came out and I bought that. So that's what I have now. But I did buy the chipset, the 570 chipset. So I can't upgrade to the Ryzen 9. But now with these new 5000s coming out, I can upgrade to that now. So I basically skipped a generation. But it's plenty fast. I mean, this thing screams. My computer's so fast right now. I just need the card to catch up with it. It's actually a Ryzen 1800. No, I'm actually going to keep it, and I'll tell you why, because it's going to become my new main machine. Ryzen's are, it's not worth selling it, to be honest, because Ryzen's are so cheap now. You can get a Ryzen 5 that's faster than the 1800 now for like 120 bucks. They're pretty cheap. Cool. Yep. They're not going to be that much. It'll be like 20 bucks off, but it's still cheap. I paid for mine. I got it even cheaper than it is now. My Ryzen 7, let's see, 3700 came out to $269. I paid for it, which is pretty cheap. I don't think they're that low now. Yeah, go for the Ryzen 5. Those things are beasts. They're really fast. I think it's a 6-core. It's the only difference. It's a 6-core versus an 8-core. But they're just as fast processing power-wise. But for me, I need all my cores, you know, so when I bought my motherboard, when I upgraded to this Ryzen 7, I changed my motherboard out because I actually have the motherboard, I actually have it sitting right here. I can see it. That's going to go into my main machine. I'm just going to upgrade it, you know, completely. And then I want to also use my other machine, which is another older computer. It's the FX series. I think it's FX 8150. That's going to go into my widescreen Vuelix cab. And it's going to be a fighting Steam machine. So it's going to have Steam on it with all the fighting games on it only. That's my plan. New Ryzen's, it's not going to be an issue. They're not going to do what NVIDIA did. Just based on their previous launches, I'm telling you, AMD has something up their sleeve. They're not talking, but they're going to blow. Well, first of all, they're stomping Intel right now. But they're also going after, now that they have all this money, they're using the funds for research and development, and now they're going to come out with this amazing video card. That's my opinion. I don't think it's coming right away. I think it might happen. It might be pretty good now to compete with the 2080s. But then by this time next year, they're going to have 3080 killers, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Brian, I have the Vuelix clone, I call it. It's basically an IKEA version of a Vuelix. No, actually, you're going to laugh. In my Vuelix cab, or my clone, I have an Xbox. An original Xbox. That has like really good games. It has like Soul Calibur 2, Dead or Alive 3, Dead or Alive Ultimate. It has all the fighting games on there. That's all I keep on it. But I do want to put like Marvel vs. Capcom 3 on there because that's what the marquee says. So I basically decided to upgrade it to Steam. No, it's not a Chulix. It's a IKEA-lix. It's actually Game Room Solutions. If you look them up, it's the Game Room Solutions cab. And I got it for a steal. I got it for $100, including the monitor, 32-inch LCD screen. There was some, I don't know, I got it on Craigslist. I went to some girl's house in Harlem at night, terrible neighborhood, and I went by myself like an idiot because it was such a good deal. And it was basically flat packed. And then, you know, I didn't ask questions, but she's like, yeah, I'm selling it, $100. I'm like, I'll take it. I put it in my car and left. And I think what happened is she probably had it there, and it was probably one of like her ex-boyfriends or something that he moved in and then he just moved out, and there it was. So I got it. $100. Yeah, the 2700 is a good, they say is a really good processor. Yeah, Chulix are good. I think Joe Sabo has one. He has a Chulix cab. That he has an unlocked Xbox 360 on that. And he has all the games. I talked to him already. He said once hunting season is over, because he hunts a lot, you know, because he does taxidermy. That was his other business that he did. So once hunting season is over, like in November, I'm going to head over to his place and do an updated video. That's going to be really cool, because I have the wireless mics for both of us. So yeah, it's going to be awesome. But he has a Chulix scab that I would love to buy, because that's the only thing I'm missing down here is a candy cab. And I would totally get rid of my cocktail for it. Totally. Yeah, the 360 mod is good. I forgot what they call it. I can't think of it offhand, but it's similar. My other Xbox I have in my system right now, the Vulix clone, is an executor. It's like chipped up. Like I chipped it way back when. I did it, wow, I want to say 20 years ago now. But I chipped it up, and then I upgraded the hard drive to 200 gigs, so I have all the games on there. I own the original CDs, believe it or not, because they're so cheap. But I just dumped them, so you won't have to swap discs. I just dumped them all to the hard drive, and then keep the originals like safe, and then just play the games. Yep. Yes, I heard that too, Omega Mark. You definitely listen to Linus Tech Tips. That's where I heard it. I think it was today I heard that the SSD prices are going down. Steve also from Gamers Nexus. I started listening to him now, like really seriously. I like the mods that he does. He's crazy. He was soldering a 3090. He was soldering some capacitors to that, and he was not good at soldering at all, and he was doing it. I was like, you're nuts. I would never do that. Huh. Reset glitch hack. Huh. Yeah, I have a couple Xboxes, the original ones, and one of them is chipped up with the executor chip, but my other one is soft modded. I just use the save game to do that. You know, Tom Clancy game. I can't remember the name of it, but you just put it in, you do the save exploit, and bam, you're in. I think Linus is good. I don't know. I liked him when he first started out too, when he did it in his kitchen. So there's Gamers Nexus and then Jay's 2 Cents. Both of them are great. Yep. Yeah, that's fine. You can just email me, Brian, if you want. It's dellsarcade@gmail.com. Yeah, command the line. I have the same one. I would actually inject custom BIOSes that I would make that would have like different colors. So like my Xbox has like a blue LED on the top where I changed it out to say Delusional. I'm gonna do an episode on that too. Like I have so many episodes I can share with you guys, but it's a really cool looking Xbox that I, modded and then literally modded where I put Delusional on there, and it has this thing that's like etched with my name with LEDs, and it glows, looks really cool. So I changed the BIOS to be blue to match as well when I did the executor. Yeah, Nintendo doesn't play around. Yep. So technically you're not supposed to share code that's other people's property, right? So like you can sell the hardware all you want, but if you're selling the code, on the hardware, that's technically their intellectual property, their IP. So you're not supposed to include that ROM on there. So, yep. I could do console stuff. I could go into the Xbox, which is arcade related, and then I also have a Nintendo that I wanted to mod because I have all the parts for it that I have to mod so that it doesn't do the flashing. It just goes straight in and it doesn't go down. So I have that, I have all that, and then I also have to modify a Nintendo gun to work with my Versus arcade to become the Versus gun. There's like a small mod you have to do to it. Yeah, Brian, I hate people that do that too, the piracy thing. That's so blatant. And they're just making money off of other people. It sucks. You know, karma. Like I say, I always try to pay it forward on my channel. Good things happen. Omega Mark, if you like, I don't know if you see my repair videos, but I have playlists of like monitor repairs. I have playlists of like regular repairs. So you'd probably be soothing. And I also, since I cut out mid-roll ads on all my stuff, you could actually watch it and see it through without getting interrupted. That was my pet peeve. Is like, you know, sometimes I'll listen to like podcasts, you know, like, I don't know, I forget what podcast I listen to. Like, you know, they start on YouTube first, then they switch it to podcast later. And that kept getting interrupted by mid-roll ads. So like I'm in the shower and like that thing would just click over. I'm like, oh, and I couldn't press it. Like, you know, you have your hands full of soap and shampoo. How are you going to click on your phone to skip the ad? You can't. So you listen to like a 5-minute ad. It sucks. Yeah, you should check it out. You know, I'm probably going to get my son, he's 12 now, to go through all my videos and put chapter points in them. Because I started doing that and I'm in love with it. The chapter points is awesome. You can just skip to what you want to see and boom. So if you watch my gapless series, you'll see that they all have chapter points in them. That's when I started doing it. Yeah, but what happens, Omega Mark, is that skippable ads will pop up. Like you're watching the video and all of a sudden it'll just cut to an ad. There's like this tiny little thing on the lower right that says ad in 3, 2, 1, and then bam, it just cuts to it. So it does it with the AI or whatever, and it sucks. So I work really hard on my videos. I edit them. I like the beauty of them and how they flow. And so I said, why should I have them interrupt my hard work? So I basically disable them all. So they'll come at the beginning where you can skip them, just like regular YouTube, or at the end. But in the middle of the ad, it will not screw you up at all. It won't interrupt you. Make your own Chihiro. Later, Torchabot. That's a good idea. I'm out too. So I'm going to cut you guys off. I'm going to be here for more, like 10 more hours. So I'm going to get some sleep, and then if I have some more time, I can do it tomorrow. Cool. All right, guys, don't forget to subscribe. You do the usual. Pass it on. And Omega Mark, you got to watch the playlist. They're pretty good. I recommend starting with Gap Plus and work your way back from there. That one came out pretty good. I'm pretty proud of that series. Yeah, ad block works too, by the way. Yeah, just doesn't work on a phone. And I usually listen to it, you know, through Bluetooth, which is why I get frustrated, like, you know, when I'm doing stuff and then an ad pops up. So I ended up just throwing the hat in, throwing the towel in, whatever, and paying for premium. So I pay for premium, which actually comes with music, and I'm really, really impressed with their music. Like, I'm loving it. I have it in my car. I drive to work every day, and I listen to the music, and it's amazing. Way better than Pandora, way better than Spotify. And it comes with your, you know, premium stuff, so I'm good to go. Plus, no more commercials, so I don't have to worry about it. But I am conscious, even though I don't have them, I still am conscious of other people that watch my channel. I don't want them watching commercials all the time, especially in the middle of the thing. So all of my videos, 100%, I removed them all. I did that about 3 weeks ago. So Omega Mark, you've seen a little under half of my videos. I have over 200 videos now. Yep. I watch my own videos too, believe it or not. Sometimes I'm working on something, I'll have mine in the background watching myself because, you know, I want to be able to see how to improve. So I look at that and I cringe a little bit. I'm like, ooh, I shouldn't have done that. Or, oh, that looks terrible. Or, oh, no, that works. Let me try it again. So, you know, you got to learn from yourself, and I watch other people too, and then, you know, come up with the best format. So there's another one too. If you go to YouTube, if you go to like, you know, whatever URL it is, if you put a hyphen after the T in YouTube, it gives you an ad-free site. I read on Reddit somewhere they were saying. Yep. Thanks, man. Hopefully the video quality will go up. I know the audio is good because I have the, you know, the Rode lav mics. I do not have elevator action. I do have Taito games. I would love an elevator action. I would love a Jungle King. Jungle King, there's a possibility that I can get that. I know someone who was selling one, but they're not selling it right now, but I'm like working on them to get rid of it because they want to get rid of it. And I said, well, let me know if you do, because I'll take it. And then what I will do most likely is put a multi-kit on it, where you have the title boards, where you can have elevator action, Jungle King, all the games I really like that are horizontal on one board, you know, with the kit. So, you know, I'm a fan of multi-kits as long as they're original and they're not like emulated. I'm good to go with that. So multiple PCBs, I love that. It's less space. You have the original games, so works out good. Yeah, Omega Race, that was at Jeff's arcade. Jeff has an amazing arcade. I think he toned it down a little bit where he sold a lot of his games. He kind of is getting out of the hobby, but then he got drawn back in a little bit. But he's mainly pinballs now, I think. I think it's because I don't know, there's too much maintenance going on with monitors, I think is what it was. I'm not sure. I have to ask him. Yep, Omega Mark, by the way, I start doing stuff in 4K now. I have for a while, actually, where I upscale it to 4K instead of like, you know, so that it comes out clearer for people that have 4K capabilities. You can watch it in 4K, even though technically it's a 1080p video, but it just looks a lot sharper. But eventually I will be 100% 4K, so that would be great. One of these days, but again, you know, video card comes first because that's where I edit, and I have to be able to edit my videos if I get 4K camera. Cool. All right, guys, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw up my slate. This is the actual, let's see, where is it? My end page. That way I can throw stuff over it later. I might chop up this video a little bit just to have the main parts of it, but for now, I will leave it posted. So here's my end page, bam. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. You can follow me at, let me take my bug out. I didn't mean to do that. Did I take it out? There we go. You can follow me on Dell's Arcade on Twitter, Dell's Arcade on Instagram, and of course I have a group. I don't know if you guys know this, but I do have a group. If you go to groups/Dell's Arcade, you can join. It has to be approved by me, and then people can discuss ideas on the show. So if you want to see stuff like that and talk about it, we usually do stuff there, and I'll post stuff, you know, links on things that I'm working on. So it's a private group, so. Cool, world record, that's nice. Yeah, send me the link, email me. Any questions you have, you know, I'll be happy to answer them too, so. But thanks for watching. I think I'm gonna end this stream, and it was great hanging out with you guys. Yep, Facebook groups. So if you go to groups/Del's Arcade, it's right there. Or if you just type in Delusional's Arcade in the groups, you'll find it too, under search. And then what you do is you just join the group, and then I just need to approve it. Very cool. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Take care.